Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your SuperChats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
Disgrace. Total disgrace. What else is there to say? I guess we'll try and figure it out.
Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super Chat, baby. Cut the line. Now it's time to talk all things New York Jets. It's the Jake Asman Show.
Here we go, Jet fans. Welcome in, everybody. Appreciate you spending some time with us here on the channel. Please click that like button and subscribe if you haven't done so already. I'm in no good mood. You're not in a good mood, but I want to say just thank you to everyone who tunes in all season long. We do a post-game show after every game, and thankfully, we only got one more game after today. I mean, good God. I just got done with a 4-hour show on ESPN New York talking about this nightmare. I'm back on the radio tomorrow at 6 a.m., so this post-game show will not be as long as they typically are. Hopefully, you guys can understand. Rex Ryan will join me on the radio show tomorrow at 7:35 a.m., so listen live on ESPN New York and the ESPN New York app. Look, what is there to say, right? I could come on and tell you how bad this coaching staff is, how stupid this team is with the ridiculous penalties they commit week after week, but you know it. I know it. I could sit here and tell you this offense is archaic. You know it. I know it. What can I really tell you that you don't already know? This team is broken. This team was exposed once they played a real contender. And this team flat out quit in the second half of this game. I mean, Sauce Gardner essentially said it with some of his comments afterwards. I mean, the Jets just always know how to lose and just somehow make it feel worse. Like 40-14 doesn't even accurately describe how big of a bloodbath this was. You know, forget the 12-0 at halftime. They were never in this game. They never had a chance. I mean, only the Jets could go, 6 quarters now the last 2 games without punting and have 9 total points to show for it? Like, they move the ball between the 20s, then they get into the red zone and they stall out. And really, it was everything today. But Aaron Rodgers stunk, and we'll start with him. I've been very open to the idea of him being the quarterback next year if that's what the next GM and head coach want. Well, why would they want that? And not saying he still might not be, I guess, their best option compared to some of the other options. But he can't move. He's going to be another year older. And he's always going to be the center of the universe because of who he is. 4-time MVP, famous Hall of Fame quarterback. A new coach and GM, they're going to want to deal with that. Not saying like Rodgers is bad, like a bad guy or anything. That's not what I'm saying. It feels like the Jets just need a fresh start. So I'm still open to whatever a GM and head coach want to do because I want them making the decision, not ownership, not Woody Johnson. But you watch this game today. Does Rodgers look like a guy that is even going to play football next year? Probably not. Feels like he's going to get that 500 touchdown next week and he might retire. Who knows? But this team has so many more problems beyond just the quarterback. It's easy to pile on Rodgers today, and he stunk. But how many games this year could they have won if this defense didn't choke late, or if this kicker could hit a kick, or if this coaching decision didn't backfire? I mean, it's all coaching, man. You look around the league, and you see the turnarounds by some of these teams. And that's the biggest thing the Jets have to get right, or none of this is going to matter. We're going to be in the same spot a year from now. Another double-digit loss season. Check in tankathon.com to see where the Jets are picking. It just never ends. I mean, but this game today was such a joke. It all started when, the Jets on defense have no answers as the Bills go right down the field. They commit dumb penalty after dumb penalty. 16 accepted penalties today. Are you kidding me? In what world is that acceptable? How is that allowed? What is Michael Clemens doing on the play where he's belly flopping trying to tackle James Cook? And if you're watching this right now, you had the same amount of sacks and quarterback pressures that Hassan Reddick had today. I mean, what a disaster. Everyone wants to blame Woody for everything, and he deserves his blame. What he did with this head coach, firing him 5 games in, completely expedited this bleep storm of a season. All right? But have you seen the Jet defensive line this year? Michael Clemens, are you kidding me? Reddick, Kinlaw, Solomon Thomas. I mean, it's just a completely joke of a unit besides Will McDonald. I mean, give me a break. It's just, I can't even yell anymore. All right? I can't. It's so frustrating. One positive I could give you is Will McDonald's really good. I'm excited to see what he can do with Jermaine next year. But they got to completely revamp the D-line, get someone that could actually help Quinnen Williams up the middle. This was a complete no-show. I mean, the Jets just played like a team that wanted nothing to do with being out there. And they really have not been blown out many times this year. Right? Week 1, they got blown out. They got blown out in Arizona. But today was one of those, the bags are already packed kind of games. And if that's how they feel, why am I going to spend hours upon hours breaking down a meaningless game? I mean, Aaron Rodgers today had 112 passing yards, no touchdowns, 2 picks. He got sacked 4 times. Great job by Max Mitchell on that safety. I mean, that's the other thing too, right? When the Jets had their starting offensive line this year, Olu at left tackle, Simpson, Tippmann, AVT, Morgan Moses, they had a decent offensive line. It was pretty good in pass protection. They can't run the ball, but I think that's the scheme in Keith Carter more than anything else. You see the second Morgan Moses goes down and Carter Warren comes in, or Max Mitchell has to start. Those guys are not rosterable players. They're not NFL players. At least not with this offensive line coach. So Rodgers sucked today, but the O-line was terrible. Lazard was brutal. You know, the one interception, the second one, as Tony Romo pointed out on the broadcast, that's on Carter Warren, not Rodgers, right? On the quick play, you're not supposed to set up like you're going back into pass protection. But what does it matter? They were probably, even if that completion is made to Devontae, we really think that changes this game? Like, the Jets didn't belong on the same field as the Buffalo Bills today. It's so frustrating. It's so brutal. And this season can't end soon enough. 1 game to go. Thank God. There's some talent on this team, but none of it matters if they fail to get the coaching hire right. None of it matters if they bring in someone who's going to be eaten alive by the New York media, eaten alive by the fans, and will be out of a job in 3 years. None of it matters unless they get the hire right. I mean, what is there to really say? I mean, it's such a joke. All 3 units just find ways to lose. How about Jeremy Ruckert? First time we hear his name called today. Block in the back negates a return by Xavier Gibson. Like, you go down the line. They all contributed to it. Garrett Wilson, brutal fumble. Nice to see him go over 1,000 yards. He should be extended without question. But it's just everything, man. You know, Sauce is trying to battle through and play, but he's clearly not 100%. He should be shut down. Right? DJ Reed with his weekly brutal penalty. Some of it's ticky-tacky, but still 16 accepted penalties today. Like, it's just end the season, man. Just end the season. I mean, what are we talking about? I mean, the fact that this team continues to give Michael Clemens and Hassan Reddick snaps on defense tells you all you need to know. I mean, this season, honestly, is the worst season of any sports franchise I've rooted for. I'm a diehard Jets fan, Yankees fan, Knicks fan, Islanders fan. There has never been a season worse than this, ever. ever. Last year, I thought would be the worst because of the hope that was ripped away. This is worse. If I would have told you going into the year, Aaron Rodgers would miss 0 snaps due to injury all season. Are the Jets more likely to be 4-12 right now or 12-4? What would you say? What would you say? Even if you're the biggest Jet hater ever, you wouldn't say 4-12. You wouldn't have the gumption to say that. No chance. What a nightmare. I mean, it was 40-0 going into the fourth quarter. I could care less about the 2 drives Tyrod did against backups when it didn't matter. How many times this year have the Jets offensively just done nothing? They move the ball and then the drive stalls out and that's it. This has just been the worst season by far. Bar none. It will never be worse than this. It can only go up from here. That's the only positive I got for you tonight. That and that there's 1 game left. That's it. I mean, this just sucked. All right, they beaten it out of me. What is there to say? They didn't show up. They didn't show up. And it's one of those games where you just take a step back and just you have to laugh, otherwise you'll cry. Like I legitimately laughed when I saw Michael Clemens try and belly flop and try and tackle James Cook. What an idiot. One of the dumbest football players I've ever watched. What is there to say? Just end this season. Get the GM and coaching hire right, or none of this matters. You want to be serious about trying to fix this, Woody Johnson? There's a guy out there who will take your job that's got the best resume of any candidate. Get him. Get me Mike Vrabel. If you're a Jet fan, why would you ever be a season ticket holder for next year right now? Why would you? I talked about this on radio. They raised your prices for one. You now have no idea who the coach is, the GM is, or the quarterback. What's the appeal right now? I mean, this is the lowest the Jet franchise has been since the end of the Rich Kotite 1996 season. And Leon Hess had a decision to make. Am I trying to win? Am I serious about winning? And he got Bill Parcells. And the Jets went 9-7 1 year after that. And 2 years after that, 12 wins. Most they've ever won in a single season. AFC Championship game appearance. Up 10-0 in the game. Should have went to the Super Bowl that year and smoked the Falcons. Hey, this can turn around. But why would you have any confidence in it turning around, given the history? That's the only way. Got to get the right people in here. Or none of this changes. Super Chats, we'll cut the line. Hit the like button if you're tuning in live right now. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Reminder, we're available in audio form wherever you get your podcast, Apple or Spotify. So you can make sure you get the show and take it on the go as a podcast if you choose. If you haven't joined my Patreon, please do so. Patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. A couple days left in the month of December. You'll get your name added to the intro. You'll get access to our private Discord channel. I have information I'm planning about a Knicks as Maniac meetup. We're going to do a group buy for a Knicks game. And if you want all the information, you have to be a Patreon member to hear about it first. And all that info will be posted in the Discord later this week. Plus, you'll get bonus shows and much more. 20% off all merch items. And if you like me, best holiday present you can give me is going to become a Patreon member. Patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. If you haven't been following the show the last couple of weeks, we've been doing raffles all month long as a thank you for supporting the channel. Today is the last show. You could gift the membership or send in a $20 super chat or more to be eligible to win one of, not one, but 2, Joe Willie Namath, Super Bowl III championship rings. We also have a Wayne Corbett rookie card we're raffling away, a throwback Aaron Rodgers jersey that we will send you, and items from the JakeAsman.com merch store, plus a $50 gift card to Copper John. So, last chance to get raffle tickets with your name on it. And once again, every membership gifted, you get your name in the bucket of champions. and you have a chance to win any of those prizes you heard me just mention. So appreciate everyone tuning in again. The Jets stink, but once again, this fan base is unrivaled. And I'll say a line I've said a lot, and I was hoping this year it finally wouldn't need to be said. The Jet organization does not deserve how great the Jet fan base is. And that's the bottom line. Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. Hey, big shout out to Jeffrey R. He's the first person I see here to gift a membership. How about a 5-spot from Jeffrey to start us off?
It's the Asmaniac membership raffle. For every membership gifted, you receive 1 ticket entered in the raffle to win epic prizes.
Raffle will be tomorrow. I'm hoping we're going to have Beningo on the show tomorrow. All right? Joe was supposed to come on with me at 11 a.m., but I got this text from Joe, and I'm just going to read it to you guys because I want to be as transparent as possible. Bro, I am out tomorrow. I have nothing to say. I am numb. I'll be back after the season finale. So Joe B was supposed to come on tomorrow at 11 because I'm on ESPN New York until 10, and I think the Jets have finally killed Joe. So I texted Joe, hey, can you give me at least 15 minutes? And we'll see what he says. But we're supposed to have Joe tomorrow. If not Joe, I will still be on for a show when I get done with radio tomorrow. All right, 25 writes in with a super chat. AR got me on his train, but after today, I'm off of it. Look, whether you're pro Rodgers coming back or anti-Rodgers coming back, I look at it like this. Let the new GM and let the head coach decide. I would personally, I think, just move on. I would. I don't know. I wanted to believe. I don't know if I see it getting better next year with him. I don't put it all on Rodgers, but I needed to see him play well against some good teams here down the stretch, right? It was one thing to do it against Jacksonville. We all got excited. I said, could we see it against the Rams? They scored 9 points in that game. Could we see it against the Bills? They didn't score any points with Rodgers at quarterback today. I'm ready to move on. I'm exhausted by it. Chris, thanks for becoming a channel member. We will add you to the raffle. 25 says trade Brees, Allen, and Davis are formidable. I'm not trading Brees. That's a dumb take. D-Rob, seen enough from Tyrod today. He's the starter. Okay, can we not base anything off of Tyrod in garbage time and say he's the starter? He might end up being the starter, but not because of today. Give me a break. Big fella, can you explain why the hell Mitchell was playing left tackle and Carter Warren played right tackle? They should have been reversed. Clown show. Well, because the Jets do everything the opposite of what's supposed to be done. So I'm sure that's why. There's your answer. Bash writes in, I'll take Darnold back with Ben. All right, thank you. Darnold's not coming back, but thanks for supporting the show, Bash. Snake writes in, we could have had Josh Allen. Josh Allen would have been god awful with the Jets. Are you aware of what Sam Darnold now is? You think Josh Allen, who was worse than Sam as a rookie, would have had success with the Jets? Okay, I'll play along. Martin writes in, this is the first time I've ever seen true disgust on your face. You haven't been watching that long. I've been doing this now. This is my 4th season doing Jet content. There's been a lot of disgust. You know what today is? Today is just apathy. What am I supposed to say? They suck? We know they suck. They're 4-12. They lost 40-0 today. I don't care about the 14 points they scored with Tyrod when every Bills starter on defense wasn't in the game. The entire building needs to be fumigated. Everyone's got to go. If you're in the front office, go. Coaching staff, go. It all has to be burnt to the ground, and they got to start over with a new regime. Craig in Australia says, Clemens doing the Superman onto the huge pile of guys when the play was over sums up our season. Yet another thing you could never have thought up. I mean, that play, I laughed. I'm like, how stupid is this guy? Honestly, I wish you could bet on this on any sports book. Michael Clemens, personal foul penalty, lock of the century against the Buffalo Bills today. At least Will McDonald was eating that fat bastard, Deion Dawkins, for breakfast, lunch, and dinner today. It's like one of the only positives I got for you. I mean, what a tool that guy is, wearing his own jersey before the game. And like the Jets can't even do anything about it because they just get blown out by Buffalo when they play them. And it's the whole thing just sucks. Gixer says, I've wanted Vrabel since Salah was fired. I pray we get him. Side note, is Sam Darnold for real? I don't think you can go 14-2 by accident. Would I be nervous if another team paid Darnold and he didn't have Kevin O'Connell, who's one of the best offensive coaches in the sport? he didn't have Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison and that O-line and that run game, yeah, I'd be a little nervous. But I think he's perfect for what they need. I always thought Sam had talent. I always thought Sam could play. The Jets just gave him Adam Gase after his rookie year and said, here you go, Sam. We're going to take you to the next level. Whatever. I can't even talk about Sam Darnold. Holy crap. Mimosa. Are you wow. A very rare 50 spot for Mimosa. Oh, baby. Wow.
It's the Asmaniac membership raffle. For every membership gifted, you receive one ticket entered in the raffle to win epic prizes.
Oh, my
I
God.
can't even believe it.
Thank you,
I can't
John.
even believe it.
God. Oh, my goodness gracious. Of all the dramatic things I have ever seen, 50 memberships raining down. Let me get my umbrella. It's raining, baby.
Get your ass off my super chats. Some of these are gifted memberships too. The hell with it.
Here we go. Gusbuster.com, promo code Jake. Get your umbrella. Here we go. 50 memberships from Mimosa. Are you kidding me? Mimosa won our Curtis Martin trading card. And I have to imagine she's got a pretty damn good chance of winning one of the raffles tomorrow. Unreal. Ladies and gentlemen, 50 names. If you hear your name called, you're a member. If you want a channel membership and you somehow don't have one, you probably aren't subscribed to the channel and you didn't like the video. That's the best way to get one. Here we go. 50 names right here, right now from Mimosa Rapid Fire. Doey Joe, Jet Up 3, Gangrene 14, Jay, Leonard Sims, Chris Quigley, Jack Mills, Taylor Sterling, Man with a Rake, Duncan Lloyd, Andres 1K, Carmen Rulo, Christopher Wheeler, Kirk Gray, Dewey Lyer, Mike Donovan, Brandon Cohen, Marvin ZB, David Torres, Nolan B, CC, Wolves 55, Sean Galez, Ken from San Diego, Emil Hill, Spencer Green, Dub Proof. Holy crap, this is insane. Colin Richards, Xavier Poe, Lord Streets, Tom Latz, Sauce, Jacqueline Flowing Air Parts. Oh my God, it just keeps going. Mick Hobby Shop, Mimosa, you're unbelievable. What an incredible 4%er. Josh McMinn, Ernesto Rivera, Mile High Jet Fan, Mr. K, holy bleep, Anthony Stranato, Rattlehead, Matthew Sereno, Roger Anthony, Moshe Bahar, The Real 631 Gaming, Nick Shield, Sunday Night Smoke Podcast. I think that's 50. Holy crap, that is unreal. Thank you, Mimosa. Day made. I'm in hour number 5 right now of talking about this horrific football team. At least we got a 50 spot out of it. Mimosa, thank you. You're awesome. And I can't wait for you to have the Curtis Martin card. And I hope you win one of the things we're giving away. You know what? I got something special for you, Mimosa. I appreciate it. All right. More super chats here. Let's see. Tyler writes in, this team has no heart, no direction. Up Schitt's Creek without a paddle since week 5. We all deserve degrees in pain and misery. Yeah, look, I'm not sitting here telling you guys Robert Saleh is a great coach, but firing him 5 games in, it tanked the season. Let's call it for what it is. It tanked the season. Now, I think Saleh would have been fired eventually anyway, because I don't think this team was winning anything with him, but it expedited it. That's for sure. I mean, you see Jeff Ulbrich is so not ready for the role. I mean, God. I said this on the radio. How about at halftime they interview him, right? Tracy Wolfson coming out. Tracy Wolfson says, you know, Coach, what do you guys have to do better in the second half? And he says, we got to play our brand of football. The brand of football the Jets play, that is their brand. They played their brand to a T today. How about we play the Bills brand of football? How about we play the Chiefs brand of football or the Lions brand of football? I'm tired of the Jet brand of football. The Jet brand of football is garbage. It's ineptitude. That's the brand. The brand is disgusting. It is grotesque. It is an abomination. That's the brand of football. Our brand of football. I'll wipe my ass with the Jets' brand of football. Their brand of football. The brand is a joke. Play a different team's brand of football. How about that for a concept? Our brand of football. And then the funniest thing is, Obrick's asked after the game about Rodgers' performance. He's like, I really didn't get to see a lot of it. I was working with the defense on adjustments. I mean, he's actually like Adam Gase, but worse. Because, right, Gase was only on about the offense, but at least the offense would score on the opening drive. Honestly, as bad as Gase was, and he was awful, if you give Adam Gase this team, they win more than 2 games. Obrick's won 2 games. Saleh won 2 games. Obrick's won 2 games. You can't make it up, man. Just end this season. Almost cursed there. Almost. I was clean for 4 hours on radio. I'm back at it at 6 in the morning right now. Oh, the Jets have made me nuts. I hate them. I'm so sick of it. Get the right coach. Get Mike Vrabel. Fix it. Enough. It's such a joke. I can't do it anymore, man. Allan writes in, we appreciate you hanging in there with us, even though the Jets are the football version of the Hindenburg. Yeah, it never ends, man. Michael, fire Obrick now. Let Fireman Ed coach the last game. I'll tell you what, they should let fans call plays for the last game. Put it up on the Jumbotron and let us vote in between plays. Like we text a number, and that's the play. Dan says, who laughed harder while watching this game if they did, Robert Saleh or Joe Douglas? I think both of them should be sitting there, and they should remember that one guy was 20 and 36, and the other guy was 30 and 64. So they could blame Woody, they could blame Brick Johnson and try and make up every excuse in the book, but ultimately they failed. They failed. Every big move Joe Douglas made, he unfortunately missed. He got wrong. He hired Saleh, horrible decision. He drafted Zach Wilson, horrible decision. Never got a backup quarterback last year, horrible decision. How's that looking now? That was their best chance to make the playoffs a year ago, not this year. Double R, can we talk about how annoying Mr. Flopper is? Josh Allen, man. God, is he annoying. I will be rooting so hard against the Buffalo Bills. I can't stand him. I can't stand him. JV. Losses set up legendary Super Bowl run with AR in 2025. Hold on. Stand by. Thanks for the time.
Now look what you've done. No more protection from the Asmaniacs. Had to pull you out of the chat and cast you down with the Sodomites. Some time in here will feel like you've been run over by the lane train. You understand me? You catch my drift? Give him another 24 hours to think about it.
I can't deal with it. Altoona says, can you somehow get Woody to join us at the Asmaniac Knicks game meetup? Yeah, I'm sure he want to talk to me right now. The message is simple. Hire the right coach and let them do their jobs. This all starts at the top. Hire a competent general manager and coach with previous experience, so we're not having these guys come in and learn on the job. If I owned the Jets, right? If I was a billionaire and I keep hiring first-time guys that are failing, maybe I'm going to do something different this time around and hire people with previous experience in the jobs I'm hiring them for. If you hire a coordinator, they might be a good head coach. They might suck. They've never done it before. It's a different job. Same thing with GM. Why are we hiring first-timers? Hire people that have done it before. Get me Dimitroff. Get me Vrabel. Call it a day. I can't, man. I cannot do the first-timers. If they hire Aaron Glenn, will I root for him to do great? Absolutely. Do I have any faith in him to do great? No chance. Tyrone, for me, the New York media and the haters win again. This really sucks, but after 5 decades, I will continue to believe. Go Jets. I mean, look, I'm a huge Knicks fan. James Dolan never sold the team. I don't hear sell the team chants right now when I watch the Knicks. What he's got to find is Leon Rose. He's got to find Tom Thibodeau. That's the only way this changes. NYC writes in, can the Jets hire VM once the Cleveland Browns season is over, or do they have to wait until after the Super Bowl? By the way, I'm done with AR. Is that Vrabel Mike? They could talk to Mike Vrabel officially 1 week from tomorrow. I'm showing up at his house with a contract if I own the Jets. Marvin says, as soon as we hire our new GM, he needs to extend Garrett. Agreed. Garrett's not going anywhere, by the way. And if you heard his quote after the game, I think he acknowledged that. He knows that. He says it's frustrating, but it's going to make those good times down the road that much more enjoyable because we went through things like this. Amen. Maybe he called Mike Evans this week and spoke to him about how to be a professional despite losing early on in your career. Maybe he called up Terry McLaurin in Washington, his buddy from Ohio State. Garrett's not going anywhere. He should be a Jet for life. NYJ says, watching this trash and Vrabel right there standing on the Browns sideline versus the Dolphins. Can't wait. They better get him. AZ, Sal and Obrick are soft. Clemens on this roster is a joke, and Rodgers throwing the ball at Yeboah's feet. Shake my head. I'm done with Rodgers. Let's go, Tyrod. All right. Let's have fun winning 5 games next year. Just saying. For all you Tyrod truthers out there. I'm not even telling you that Rodgers should be here next year. I probably would move on. But if I got to listen to people try and sell me on Tyrod Taylor because he played well against scrubs in garbage time, I mean, I can't help you. Martin has gifted a channel membership. If you got it from Martin, you thank him. Kiss his feet. He's earned it. Thank you, Martin. Abu Dhabi Jet fan in the house. Well, if the second half plan was to play their brand of football, they executed to perfection. Look, if the Jets' goal was to play their brand of football, I mean, they're as good as any at playing their brand of football. All right? You look at the Jets' brand of football, it smells like 4-12, baby. Oh, yeah. That's that brand you love, baby. God.
He stinks.
They stink. They suck. Jonathan, Jake, I have breaking news. All right, Jonathan, you let us know. Rick writes in, Douglas and Saleh did not finish the job, but built a sound nucleus for the next hire. There's so much talent on the roster looking for direction. There is talent on this team, which makes it frustrating, but you hope that the right coach can maximize the talent on this team. I mean, they should be a run-first offense next year. Hire a real coach who could hire a real offensive staff, a real O-line coach, a run game coordinator. Brutal. 25. Rodgers needs to go. Screw Tyrod. Let's get Fields. I probably would bring in Fields with Tyrod if I'm not drafting a quarterback. Or even if I do. Fields, to me, out of any of the options out there, he's the most intriguing to me because he's gotten better every year of his career. He's young enough where he still has the talent to maybe eventually hit what he could be. Like, if you're going to try and find, like, the next Baker reclamation project or Darnold reclamation project, Fields is the only one that's available. That's a former top pick that I think would make sense. I don't want Daniel Jones. Right? I don't want Zach Wilson, obviously. Like, who's available? Like, you're talking about journeyman veterans like Andy Dalton and Jacoby Brissett, Gardner Minshew. I'll take my chance with Justin Fields. I mean, that would be my preference. Fields and Tyrod would be my preference for next year if you're moving on from Aaron. I'm also calling the Vikings, and I want to find out what it would take to get J.J. McCarthy. Is a pick swap and a second-round pick enough? Would you do that if you're the Jets GM and you believe in McCarthy? I mean, that's the bottom line. But real coaching, and this team doesn't have 4 wins right now. No way. Big fella, $10 super chat. Woody's a Nepo billionaire. Big difference than self-made. Has no idea what he's doing. Likes the prestige more than winning. Where are all the run it back with Rodgers clowns? Time to man up. I mean, I don't think they're clowns for having that opinion, big fella. The other options out there stink. You realize that, right? Good. Do we have to be at each other's throat tonight? If you're a Jet fan who was anti-Rodgers coming back, or you're a Jet fan who wants Rodgers coming back, you didn't win based on the result today. It's going to be hopefully judged over a 17-game sample size and the other options out there and the salary cap ramifications. We don't need to take these victory laps. Because it's a very real possibility that Aaron Rodgers is still their best option with actual coaching. An actual modern NFL scheme. Would he be on board for that? I don't know. And if he's not, I'm getting rid of him. But I'm not getting rid of that being an option still. I'm not just saying there's no way. I think everything should be up for discussion for the next GM and coach to decide. Not Woody Johnson. Not Jaime El High. Not anyone with the organization besides the next GM and coach. Vinny says, Rodgers and Adams seen on the sideline smiling while getting blown out is unacceptable. Bench them next week. Good luck with that, John. Vinny. Appreciate you the super chat. Jonathan says, under your video title, New York Jets analyst dishes on Robert Sala's future as Jet coach. I said the Vikings will go 14-3. If they go 14-3, you'll give me 1,000. They are 14-2. Well, I'm gonna have to check. I might owe you $1,000, I guess. I don't know. I'll have to look for you, Jonathan. Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. On a serious note, what the Vikings are doing is unreal. Kevin O'Connell, I think, should get Coach of the Year consideration. I mean, look what he's done with Darnold. He's 14-2. 25 writes in. If Woody wants to intervene, then he will, though. Yeah. Hopefully he will not, though. That's kind of the point. You hire people and you stay out of the way. All right, let's get to your calls coming up. Before we do that, we're sponsored by Joe DeVizio Realty. Joe and his team are the best at what they do. If you're selling your home, call Joe and his team. 959-CALL-JOE. Sellwithjoe.com. All the info is in the description. Joe is a Jet season ticket holder. He's disgruntled like we all are, but he's still going to do his job at a high level. See, that's the difference. The Jets don't do their jobs at a high level. Joe DeVizio and his team, they always do their job at a high level. Once again, top dollar in any market, anywhere in the area, no matter what situation or what condition your home's in. If you're behind on payments, no problem. Your whole house needs repairs, no problem. Bad tenant, squatters, no problem. Joe DeVizio is your guy. He could sell any property, any place, anytime, and get you top dollar. Call Joe to discuss your situation right now. All the info in the description box, 959-CALL-JOE. Shout out to Liam and Custom Bourbon Tours. I need a vacation. You need a vacation. CustomBourbonTours.com will help you book your next trip down to the Kentucky Bourbon Trail so you can experience an unforgettable day on the Kentucky Bourbon Trail. Do it with Custom Bourbon Tours. It's easy. You can sign up for the entire experience in about 5 minutes by going to their website. You'll pick the distilleries you're going to visit, the vehicle you want to travel in. They have a bunch of different payment plans for you. Flexible zero-interest payment plans are available, so set up your private group outing in 5 minutes or less. CustomBourbonTours.com. Shout out to Custom Bourbon Tours for being one of our awesome post-game sponsors all season long. One post-game show left after this. Thank God. Thank effing God. Comments, questions, super chats, cut the lie, hit the like button. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Let's get to your calls right now. Let's say hello to Jay Graves, who's first up tonight on the show. Hello, Jay Graves.
Oh, hey, Jake. I will not lie. I didn't watch the game. I watched until our first failed drive, and I was like, I can't do this. And I just kind of kept an eye on the Discord. I did catch, I kind of flipped here and there. I caught the dirt ball to Yabo. I was like, yay, that's great. And I caught once Tyrod came in, I flipped on, and they were showing the Bills having a goddamn party on the sideline. I'm like, nope, can't do this. I turned it off again. Although I wish I had seen the Michael Clemens body surfing on the pile. I thought that was hilarious. What an ass. But I want to let you know I won't ramble, but I've been watching on my algorithm. I've been getting John Gruden shorts, and he chews out his players on the sidelines, and that is what we need. A guy to grab somebody's face mask and be like, "What the hell are you doing?" Like, remember the Titans Jets game when Washington threw that interception, and the coach was like, "What the hell are you doing?" as he came off the field. That's what we need. A coach who's not going to give a crap about your feelings like we have right now because we're soft as crap. Like, that's what I want. That's really all I got today. I just want to call in and say hey. And then your Knicks game. I've never been to a basketball game. I'd totally be down for that. I don't follow the Knicks, but I've never been to a basketball game, so I'm definitely gonna be checking out your Discord to see what's up with that. Because I would go to a basketball game with the Asmaniacs.
Well, I'll tell you what, Jay Graves. Stay tuned for more info because we're gonna put something together hopefully soon. All right.
All right. See, but yeah, I just want to coaches to chew our people out. I haven't been feeling well, so I'm going to keep this short, but just want to check in and say, yeah, F the Jets right now. I'm so annoyed. I'm over it.
Hang in there, Jake. Guys, feel better. I appreciate you calling. Yeah, I mean, I don't blame anyone who's flipping through red zone and not locked in. Like, this season is such a nightmare. I unfortunately still watch every play of every game because I guess I'm addicted to the pain, but it's unreal. D-Rob says, what do you say to all who say we won more with Zach? I say that it had nothing to do with Zach Wilson. I mean, are you going to try and argue that Zach Wilson has played better than Aaron Rodgers played this year? Like, you could be down on Rodgers. I mean, Zach Wilson in his career had 23 total touchdown passes. Rodgers has 24 this year in one season with the Jets. I mean, if Aaron Rodgers I think what's so frustrating is Rodgers has not been good overall this year. It's been incredibly disappointing, despite whatever the numbers say. Like, just watch the games, right? Watch the games. But this version of Rodgers, they're in the playoffs last year with that defense and kicker who couldn't miss. That's what sucks. They got this guy last year. They're in the playoffs. We'll never know, but him going down 4 plays in, I mean, that's when it ended right then and there. Sucks, but it's true. Great question from Boneless Beans. Will Joe DiVizio make my wife love me again? Yeah, duh. He's Joe DiVizio. He can do everything. Give him a call. 959-CALL-JOE. More of your calls right now. Let's say hello to Tristan, who's next. Hello, Tristan.
What's up, Jake? Man, I think I saw Custom Bourbon Tours. I run social media for one of the distilleries out there in Kentucky. I do all their social media content. I drive up from Atlanta once a month. So, yeah, I think I've seen him out there before, actually. Like, it's actually pretty cool, all those distilleries. So if you have a chance while you're on vacation, if you're going to drive through Kentucky, hit him up, definitely book something. It's an amazing experience. But other than that, I hate this team. It's been tough. And like, I think I was driving home the other day and I put on your show when you had that guest that was saying that we should go 2-5 next year and tank for a quarterback.
Two and 15. Yeah, Frankie V.
I feel like
Tristan, your delay is unfortunate there. Call back. I'll try and get you back on. More of your calls right now. I know what we need to do. We need to get an up-close and personal view on the state of the Jets.
I got my Energy. I hope you like my Jets take. You know they call me David T. It's not easy for me to see, but if you bring me full stream, you might like what I had to say. I'll need to get real damn close, cause my vision is dog shit.
Hi, Jake.
Hey, David.
Hey, the heck with the Bills and every other team in our division. And if I can speak my opinion, here's what I see and what I'd like to see within the next week. I can understand everybody saying it's time to move on from Rodgers. I'm just not going to do it. And I would love to see this coming week, you know, if they could have a good game and Rodgers gets his 500th and, you know, try to lift everybody's spirits. And if you're going to knock on Brable's door, if I can, maybe you can take his favorite sandwich and a 6-pack of Fireman Ed's beer. That might seal the deal. And, but they got to get it right. If they don't, it's going to be more of the same. And you know what, Jake? If it's more of the same, I'm still going to be a lifelong Jet fan.
Well, I mean, we have no choice, David. We made our decision, and it is what it is. You know, you can't. You hope there's a year where it's all worth it at the end of the day. It makes all the losing worth it, but. You know, we have no choice. I don't want to sit there and act like the Jets can't turn this around, though. There's been plenty of franchises in worse spots in recent years in sports that have figured it out. It just comes down to this owner getting the right football people running the operation. And that's the only way this gets figured out.
Boy, can you imagine if they get, hopefully the general manager and the coach that we want. Can you imagine all the Jets fans, how upbeat we're going to be and hopeful and all that kind of stuff?
Look, that's where it starts, right? You hire
Yes.
a coach that the fan base believes in.
Yes, I agree.
I got my Iron J. I hope you like my Jets take. You know they call me David T. It's not easy for me to see, but if you bring me full stream, you might like what I had to say. I'll need to get real damn close, cause my vision is dog shit.
Now that was an electric call right there. Love that from David. Love that. Sam writes in, please can you send all Zach Wilson, he who shall now be named, fanboys to the hole? I'd love to. I mean, look, you could be down on Aaron Rodgers, but if you're going to try and tell me that somehow Zach Wilson is better because the team last year won more games with him, you just don't know anything about football. Like, I just don't have the patience for you. 25 says, love David T, but Dark Knight Steve needs to cut the line. Ladies and gentlemen, the great Dark Knight Steve joins us now. Steve.
How's it going, guys?
Steve, I want you to know that we're all thinking about you and that we're wishing the absolute best for you and your family as you recover. So it's great to see you. What a surprise is this to even see you call in.
Yeah, this was something I was actually looking forward to. At first, it was the game, and then about halfway through, I asked for an oxy to put me out, so I'd have to. But my purpose today was just to reconnect with all you guys and say thank you for all the prayers and well wishes and support. It was a pretty rough thing that happened, and it was nice knowing that there's so many people that cared so much about me and my family. And just to kind of update y'all, everybody is home from the hospital except me. I'm still in. I'm hopefully going home tomorrow or so. I'm able to walk a little bit, but still it's pretty sore. I broke 7 vertebrae and 2 ribs and concussion and a partridge in a pear tree for this holiday season. But just want to say how much I care about y'all, and this was hearing about everyone's take on the game today was something I actually looked forward to. It was a rough day, but this was the bright spot I was looking for. So again, Jake, thanks for the content. Thanks to all the Asmaniacs. I appreciate y'all supporting me and my family during this tough time. It's gonna be a long road to recovery, but I'm already talking to Daytona Joe. We're trying to figure out what road game we're going to meet you at next year. We're going to try to come up to our old home in New Jersey and maybe get there for a game too, because they'll tell you all life is short, and almost didn't walk away from this one, but just put everything in perspective. And I really care about y'all. Y'all are good people, and I just want to say thank you.
Well, Steve, I mean, thank you for calling. I mean, it's so good to see you. That's awesome news about your wife and your 2 kids. For those who don't know, Steve was involved in a hit-and-run accident Christmas Eve, so we've been raising some money as a community on the show the last couple of days. There's a GoFundMe link that I just posted again in the live chat, and I know a bunch of Asmaniacs have contributed, which is awesome. But, I mean, Steve, you mean a ton to all of us. You're such a good dude. I met you in person now a couple times, and hearing that, you're going to be okay, it sounds like, and your family's doing a lot better. That's awesome news. So we're pulling for you, and obviously keep calling in, keep keeping us posted, and let us know how we can help, because that's, we just want you to get better soon, your family to get better soon, and I can't already wait for the next Jet game I get a chance to be at with you.
Yeah, man, I'm looking forward to it. It's actually my motivation to rehab and rest up, is looking forward to next season and maybe getting up there for a Nick game or something. I gotta get mobile again, and but it's definitely my motivation to come up north and see y'all, not just bask in the South Florida, Miami warmth, but forward to seeing y'all soon. Thanks for taking my call. God bless y'all. Happy holidays.
Steve, God bless. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, Dark Knight Steve. If you're a longtime listener to the show, you know Steve. If you're part of our Patreon community on Discord, check it out. And I just thank you again to all the Asmaniacs who contributed to the GoFundMe for Steve. Steve's awesome. He's so supportive of this show, this channel. So it's great news to hear that his family's out of the hospital, and hopefully he will be soon. So, but if you have the means to do so, please contribute to that GoFundMe to help Steve and his family with the medical expenses. Just terrible, terrible what they're unfortunately having to go through. So it's good to hear that he's, in decent spirits there. 25 writes in, screw rooting for the Jets, root for Dark Knight Steve. Amen. Big fella. The Dark Knight will rise again. Amen. Amen. Oh, what a bleep show of a season, man. And they tried to take out Dark Knight Steve from us too. That won't happen. Honestly, if the Jets had the fight of Dark Knight Steve and his family, they would have more than 4 wins this year. That's a fact. All right, more of your calls right now. It's rare when this guy calls in, which tells me it might be a serious phone call. Gator's up next. Hello, Gator.
Yeah, man. Dark Knight Steve puts things into perspective in terms of, all the meaningless Jets stuff we throw around, and then you see that, and it just honestly, I forgot everything I was gonna say, other than new stuff, which is basically, man, I pray for him and his family. Get out of the hospital, Steve, and man, your road to recovery, I'm sure, is not going to be easy, but just know that we're looking out for you here, and we love you, and hope to see you back soon. Damn. Anyway, I invested a lot of time and effort and money in this guy here, Mr. Aaron Rodgers, and I've probably been as big a fan as anybody. But man, today's game was just, I think, a final realization, which I know a lot of folks out there had way sooner than me, that he's probably not the right guy to move us forward. And I think it's not saying that he doesn't have a future somewhere else. I don't think it's fair for him to be part of a rebuild at his age. If he wants to continue playing, I think the best thing for him is probably going to be to land in a San Francisco or it might even be to sit in the offseason and sort of wait for that first injury. I feel like these quarterbacks, that teams that have, these playoff runs even that sit and wait. I know there was a time where Brady, when he retired, we kind of thought that maybe he was going to wait for that injury to happen, and then he was going to pop up somewhere and help a team. That's probably what's best for Rodgers.
He might just retire too, Gator. That's the thing. You watch him today, I don't know what team's giving him a guaranteed starting spot. I don't think that team exists. And he strikes me as the guy that would retire, and as you say, kind of do the Brady thing where the name is hovering out there, and if there's an injury, he's the guy that everyone talks about.
Yeah, no, certainly. Yeah, and I still go back to the fact that I love the guy because of the sacrifices that he made for my team. If you look at all the primetime games we had the last 2 years, that was the result of him. We had hope that we hadn't had in, I don't know, decades, it seems. But so I thank him for his service. But yeah, I feel like it is time for him to move on. It might be what's best for all parties. But yeah, man. And the one other thing I wanted to bring up is we as a Jets community, we need to stop with the whole "I told you so." Just cut the shit. Guys that like to reach out to something they said, 5 minutes ago or 5 months ago, and shove it in your face as to I said this was going to happen. I told you this was going to happen. Well, whoop-de-doo. Congratulations.
Also, nobody cares. Nobody cares. Yeah. Congrats. Nobody cares.
Yeah, we're thrilled that you had 3,000 opinions and one of them landed.
Yeah.
I don't know how many times you reached out and said, hey, those 2,999 times I said something that was wrong? Well, I finally got one right. Isn't that cool? Of course, Allan is always right. But that's why he spends a lot of time in the hole. And Allan is right more than he is wrong, so good for him. But, let's not do that to each other. Let's not shove it in the face. A lot of us had hope, right? So you can't criticize somebody for having hope, especially as a Jets fan. So keep the "I told you so's" away, and let's just look forward and not back. Because back, man, this is as bad as it gets. So we can only move up from here. So let's have hope moving forward, and and just not punish each other for having that hope.
Yeah, I agree. Gator. Good call, man. The man cave looks good.
Happy New Year, brother.
Happy New Year, ladies and gentlemen. Gator McCluskey. Now I can't have a Gator call be that sad, so I'm gonna play something that Gator made to hopefully lift up all our spirits.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
I'm also going to make an example of someone because I can, and I'm annoyed. And this is the type of stuff that Gator's talking about. 1189 writes in, I can't believe Jet fans bought into a 40-plus-year-old savior. Yeah, the Jet fans, we were so crazy to think that Aaron Rodgers, who was 3 years younger than Brady, couldn't come to the Jets and take a team that we thought was ready-made and get them to at least the playoffs. We were so crazy to think that a team that won 7 games in 2022 with the offensive defensive rookie of the year and the third-rated defense, we were so crazy to think that with Aaron Rodgers, they could at least be a playoff team and end the longest playoff drought in sports. After Brady literally just did it, and an older Stafford did it with the Rams, and Peyton Manning did it in Denver. We were so crazy to think a Hall of Fame quarterback could come here and take the Jets to the playoffs and give us a shot. We were so nuts for that thought process. This is what I mean. Like the revisionist history with the Rodgers stuff, it drives me nuts. It didn't work. It was still the right move. They had no choice but to make that move because this general manager drafted Zach Wilson with the second pick in the draft. That's a fact. $25 writes in, I request a bounty on 1189. First person to gift 5 memberships, you're the executioner. We'll see you later. Wild Wave, Derek Carr was a free agent. Holy crap. Goodbye. Automatic. If you suggest Derek Carr being a better option than Aaron Rodgers 2 years ago, automatic sentence to the hall. Farewell.
Now look what you've done. No more protection from the Asmaniacs. Had to pull you out of the chat and cast you down with the sodomites. Some time in here will feel like you've been run over by the lane train. You understand me? You catch my drift? Give them another 24 hours to think about it.
Bye, Wild Wave. 25, baby. Oh, I'm feeling it tonight. I'm going off tonight. I have no patience anymore. 25 with a 5 spot of channel memberships that have just been gifted. Ladies and gentlemen, 1189 Paris, you had a good run. You really did. But 25 is the executioner, and he has sent you to the hole for the remainder of the program.
Now look what you've done. No more protection from the Asmaniacs. Had to pull you out of the chat and cast you down with the sodomites. Some time in here will feel like you've been run over by the lane train. You understand me? You catch my drift? Give them another 24 hours to think about it.
God, what does this season come to, man? We're going to try and talk about Derek Carr, revisionist history with Derek Carr. Hey, give me a break. MD, EJ, Eagles, Daily, and Clap City all receiving channel memberships. Thank you, 25, for supporting the channel. That's 5 raffle tickets with your name on it. Raffle will be tomorrow. 25 with a super chat. Judge, jury, and executioner. 25 must have had a parlay. He's got all the super chat money tonight. Let me get back to your calls right now. I know what we need right now. You know what they say? You know what? They say a lot of things. How do I word this properly? They say that one lane train, or you know what? How do I word this? How do I say this? All right, I think I have it here. You know what's better than one lane train? How about 2?
Hi, how are you? Bruce Hall. That's good. Hi.
Hi, Lane.
Hi. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good. I just wanted to talk about the Jets game.
What did you see today, Lane?
Well, I think that I mean that like it wasn't good.
I would agree with that. It was very bad, actually.
I know, like you just have to play better next year. More about the game. They had problems throwing the ball. Yeah, I mean, how do you feel about that?
They didn't throw the ball very well today. They stunk.
Yeah, my second time calling in.
I like the haircut, Lane. It looks good.
Yeah, I know. Thank you. Let me see what else.
What else stood
Oh,
out to you?
Huh?
What else stood out from the game today?
Well, you playing like Buffalo, and they just well, okay, let me bring it up. Okay, the way they played today by cutting it down, they just didn't have it. Like, okay, like this is some more stuff. You go into next season, and you have all these draft picks. Who do you see them getting?
I hope they can find another Knoble.
Yeah, I know. And, like, yeah, and then you have all these people, and then so the Giants one,
Say it again, Lane. Your internet was a little choppy there.
the Giants one.
They did win, but did they actually lose?
No.
Well, they
Oh
don't
wait,
have the first pick in the draft
okay
anymore.
now. Yeah, wait, do you hear me?
I hear you.
Yeah, no, I had to fix the thing up. Yeah. So I mean, honestly, if you're paying Rodgers all the money next year and he doesn't play, I don't think it's gonna be really good. Like honestly, how much more further do I have to talk about this?
What are you smiling at?
No, I mean, no, I mean, I was thinking. I mean, I can't take it anymore.
Hey, Lane, move your
Because,
finger from the mic on your phone. I think it's covering the microphone. We can't hear you that well.
all right, is it okay now?
Count to 10.
One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Pretty good. Now I need the alphabet. Ready?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. A, B,
A,
C.
B, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, sorry, W, X, Y, and Z. Now I know my A, B, C.
Lane, well
That
done,
was
but
good.
your internet is unfortunately not working great.
Hi. Sorry, everybody. See you next call when we talk about sports again.
But that was an electric rendition from what I heard. It was so good that even lane number 1 was captivated off air.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lane. Ladies and gentlemen, it is an honor and a privilege to do what I'm about to do right now. You look forward to this. It hasn't happened a lot this year, right? It's been toned down a lot, but it's time. Ladies and gentlemen, Hawk writes in, Zach wins 9 games with this roster despite no coaching. Hawk, your day is over.
Now look what you've done. Hawk, no more protection from the Asmaniacs. Had to pull you out of the chat and cast you down with the sodomites. Some time in here will feel like you've been run over by the lane train. You understand me? You catch my drift? Give him another 24 hours to think about it.
See you later, Hawk. Bum. Philly Noodles up next. What's up, Philly?
Yo, Hawk, I swear to God. I think I first started watching your show, and it was like an episode where it was just Hawk trash mania. It was like Hawk this, Hawk that, and then we were like, to the hole, and I was like, bro, that was the greatest thing I've ever seen.
He was the worst, man. He was the biggest Wilson truther. But I'll give Hawk this. The stat line that Rodgers produced was Zach Wilson-esque today. But no, Zach Wilson would not lead the Jets to 9 wins right now.
Oh, my God. Listen, I know I've bashed AR truthers, right? It's my thing recently, but I wanted to call in just to be like, first off, a few bright spots. Jamie and Sherwood, again, another game is providing the fact that he must be signed next season. I'm just sold on it. He's got to get signed. That's a thing for me. And another thing that bothers me is that maybe this season that just is about to pass us, if every moment there was AR feeling injured, if Tyrod would have came in to alleviate, would we have stuck out a few wins? We don't even know, and we won't get to know. But it is what it is. I felt that was important to see him come in, and I think he should just probably come in again next week just to see what he's got for us on a full plate. I mean, he won't, granted, have everybody. He won't have Olu on one side. He's probably not going to have Morgan Moses, obviously, on the other side. You may even sit down some weapons like Brees, but just to see what he looks like with some complementary pieces running the offense against the Dolphins. The Dolphins got to win. They have a chance to make the playoffs somehow still. So
are they technically still alive? And also, if the Jets beat them, look, if the Jets win, I'm not going to be that upset. No, but of course not. If they beat them, handing them a losing season would be nice too.
Yeah, and if Tyrod can be the guy doing it, it makes you think, okay, if we move on from Aaron,
it's not going to happen. Tyrod's Philly. Tyrod's not starting next week. They're going to play Aaron Rodgers.
For that 500.
Benching him. Yeah, well, why are we benching Aaron Rodgers? 1 game to go. It is what it is. It's over. There's going to be people that are going to go to MetLife next week and want to watch Rodgers play one last time before he might retire. He's going to play.
Yeah, you're right.
Benching him.
That's why Gator brought that up, and I was like, it's probably going to happen. And actually, what's his name? The I. I forget his name real quick. He said it. Yeah, it's sentimental. You see him throw the 500, did it in our jersey, gets it done. It is what it is. But I don't know. I think everybody just, it is what it is. It's just let's keep it moving. But definitely, I'm on the train of signing Jamie Sherwood. He looks great still. I don't want to hear anything about this Garrett Wilson nonsense anymore. I mean, that fumble, it's at some point he's got to calm down, just play the game. Off season is what it is. We'll see what happens, but
he's not going anywhere. They have his rights.
Yeah, he can't. Exactly.
They should extend him, and honestly, he'll take the money like all these players do, as long
That's
as
what
it's,
I think.
A real extension offer. They don't lowball him.
Yep. And then Brees is weird though. It now, not that I want to harken back to everybody saying trade Brees in the middle of the season, but he has come off a little bit weird this half of the season, second half, where he looks really banged up, but at the same rate, he's just not feeling explosive. It's just something's missing. Yeah, I don't know if he's not running 25 times a game.
I don't think he's 100% healthy, and I think the scheme is bad. I don't think they utilize Brees what he does really well. I think he should be utilized Christian McCaffrey. He hasn't had one game this year where he had 20 carries or more. That's crazy to me. He's had one game this year where he went over 100 yards rushing. It was against the Bills in Week 6. It's been a disappointing year for Brees. I don't put it all on him though. They got to get, I think, a real offensive line coach, a real run game coordinator. Whoever the head coach is next year, they probably are not going to be able to find a quarterback that's going to throw more than 24 touchdowns, right? I'd be surprised.
Yeah.
But they can still score more touchdowns than they scored this year if they get an effective ground game going. That to me will be the key. maximize Breece Hall, Braylon Allen, Isaiah Davis. Have a real running attack that you don't give up on because it's ineffective and the quarterback wants to change the play and throw in the red zone instead of ever running it.
And 1,000%, two people guaranteed to who should not work in the NFL next year, hate to say it that way, is Mr. Ulbrich and Mr. Clemens. That jumping on the pile was the most high school moment I've ever seen in the NFL from an NFL player. Him jumping on that pile of dudes where the whistle's about to get blown and he decides to sandwich himself on top. I was like, dear God, if this is not the personified season in itself in a nutshell from a coaching standpoint, it could not have gotten any worse. Where he ran and jumped on the pile of men. He gets an instant whistle and Ulbrich is over there like, oh, fuck. Like, dude, what are you doing on the sidelines that these guys feel like they could do? Like, how do you even mentally cross that? Threshold as a player is disturbing. So I think Ulbrich screwed, and Clemens should be just not even Canadian football.
Dude, he should have been cut after that play, Philly. I mean, that was such a joke. I sat there and I just laughed. I'm like, this guy's the dumbest player I've ever watched. Seriously. Reddick is an idiot. Clemens is an idiot. It's just the stupidity on this team, the undisciplined nature. It all starts with the coach. Bang says, Jake still think this is a playoff team next year. This is what I mean, Bang, Mateo. Sorry for me a year ago thinking that the Jets, if they got a healthy Aaron Rodgers, could go from 7-10 to being in the playoffs this year. You're going to try and do that gotcha? All right? This is what I'm talking about. Thanks for watching. Farewell.
Now look what you've done. No more protection from the Asmaniacs. Had to pull you out of the chat and cast you down with the sodomites. Some time in here will feel like you've been run over by the lane train. You understand me? You catch my drift? Give them another 24 hours to think about it.
I mean, come on, man. All you need to know is even the biggest Jet hater out there, Allan, thought the Jets were going to win 10 games this year. So you're going to try and play gotcha on me thinking that I was going to that somehow I'm crazy for thinking this thing could be a playoff game? Give me a break. O Beans writes in, you're taking it too far. These people are entitled to their opinions, bro. Relax. Oh my God, I'm taking it too far. I'm sending them to a figurative hole where they can't comment in a YouTube chat. Oh my God. Hey, O Beans, enjoy.
Why can't I be quarterback, huh? Hit me, I'm open. Hi. That's why. Now sit down and shut up.
Oh, it's so serious, man. I don't know if you're ever going to recover from 5 minutes without being able to chat in the YouTube comment section. Oh my God. Whoa! I don't have patience for it, man. I don't. All right. Nick Shine in the house. There's more people in the hole than there will be at the game next Sunday. Probably true. Probably true. I will say this, though. If you're someone who has extra tickets you're not using, surprisingly, there's a lot of people who somehow still want them. I was able to give away, I think it was like 20-something for the Rams game. Houston, we gave away like 48 tickets that night, which was nuts. It was Halloween, though. I get it. So if anyone has extra tickets, as always, if you send them my way, asmanjake@gmail.com, I'll transfer them to people who are trying to go. Maybe someone's never been to a game, wants to take a kid to their first game, and what does it matter? They won't remember it. The Jet record, they'll just remember having a good time. So holiday season, if you have the means to do so, we will distribute it to Jet fans who want to go. All right, more of your calls right now. We got to get to someone that will get the show back on track. We've been off the rails tonight. There's been take after take that is just destroying the fabric of the show. So there's one guy I could go to that will get us back on track, and we're lucky enough that he's on hold.
You'll never get my chicken soup recipe. I'm not saying that Lowski takes steroids. Give me some of it. Hey, Charles! Who is that lovely lady? Send it this way, Charles!
Okay, so we're done. Okay, how are we, everybody?
Charles, I'm going to need you to adjust your camera. We can only see part of your face.
I'm afraid that's the best you're gonna get.
You did absolutely nothing there. It was the exact same angle you had. Much better.
Thank you.
Rebecca says, I need to see the whole you. See, you have a lovely lady who wants to see all that Charles Gorman.
I appreciate that. Yeah, the game was an embarrassment. I don't think we really need to discuss it much further. It was an embarrassment. The team sucks. The team has no coaching. The team has no discipline. I mean, I told Nick Shine a little bit earlier today, that I actually got more enjoyment watching the Giants game than I did the Jet game today.
What was your level of enjoyment on a scale of 1 to 10?
On the Jet game, it was probably a -5. For the Giant game, it was probably a solid 8 out of 10.
All right.
I was happy Malik Neighbors caught over 100 passes this season. I didn't even know how many receptions he had coming into that game, but he's got 104. He's closing in on Steve Smith's record. No relation to the Steve Smith Sr. of the Panthers and the Ravens legend.
Thank you for clarifying.
I thought Drew Lock played a great game. He became the first Giants quarterback since Eli Manning.
Is this a Giants show, Charles, or a Jet show?
I thought it was a football show.
That's Tuesdays and Fridays.
Oh.
When the logo in the corner says Jake Asman Football Show.
My bad. But anyway.
It's okay, Charles.
I'm glad Garrett Wilson got his record where he became the first Jet receiver to record 3 consecutive 1,000-yard receiving seasons to start off his career. I think he's going to be a great player for many years to come. Aaron Rodgers played like shit. The offensive line didn't play very well. What pisses me off is we didn't stick to the running game. I thought we were running.
You could have blocked better than Max Mitchell at left tackle.
Probably not.
Well, you did your pass set on the show recently. Can you demonstrate again? I'll tell you right now, that's better than what I saw from Max Mitchell.
Well, I got to hold up the screen on my computer, so I'm afraid I won't be able to do it.
That's all right. I believe in you.
Anyways, Tyrod, I think, should be our bridge quarterback next year.
Lane Trail says you look like Jim Carrey. Has anyone ever told you that?
No,
Rick wants to know, Charles, are you growing a beard?
I'm going to shave it probably tomorrow or Tuesday, but I need to do a better job managing my facial hair. And for all of you guys that were wondering, am I shaving causes to have that losing streak? I didn't shave these past couple. Didn't really do much shaving these past couple of weeks, and we still ended up sucking.
When was the last time you changed your underwear? Are you still wearing the Lucky Jet underwear?
I don't have any Jet underwear.
Noted.
I mean, Morgan Moses, I'm glad didn't have too much of a severe injury. He toughed it out today. As I said, I think Tyrod should be our bridge quarterback next year. I agree with Connor Long. Part of me, of the Aaron Rodgers fan in me, wants him to stay, but I'm like, we got to move on from him. It hasn't worked out, and you got to cut your losses. I would even move on from Devontae Adams too. He's been great for us, but it hasn't contributed to winning. And another thing, this is not even a shot at a particular Asmaniac, but I understand, Brock Bowers is having a tremendous season for the Raiders. But we needed Olu Fashan to bring more depth to the offensive line. Olu played very well for us this season. To sit there and say that Olu has done nothing is wrong.
Olu's been awesome. I would, if I could do it all over again, I would still take Olu over Bowers. I wouldn't even think twice about it.
I wouldn't think twice about it either, but of course, a lot of Gary's he's like the greatest pass catcher of all time, which I wouldn't go that far.
Did somebody say Brock Bowers?
Brock Bowers is an incredible tight end. I was going to call him a wide receiver, but I forgot he's a tight end. He's an incredible tight end. He was an incredible tight end in college, and he's been an incredible tight end in the pros. I mean, Aiden O'Connell,
The
Saints.
Fashanu is going to be a 10-year starter at left tackle, and I'm glad the Jets have him because the tackle class this year is not great, and Olu is a big part of their O-line going forward.
Yes, I agree. We just need a better offensive line coach. We need more competent players. We need more competent coaching, and that's it. That's really all I wanted to say. Hope you're excited for the new year, Jake. I sure as hell am.
Any big New Year's Eve plans, Charles?
I have no idea, but I'm just going to take it day by day.
Well, New Year's is coming up. I feel like you got to get some plans put together now.
Well, we'll see, you know.
I can't see you anymore. You got to adjust your face.
My computer is a bit broken, so please bear with me.
Hold on. It's tough to see you. There we go.
So, yeah, I'm going to take it day by day with the New Year's Eve stuff.
What's your ideal New Year's Eve?
Spending time with my family and friends.
Dennis?
Yes, Mr. Gorman and Mrs. Gorman, yes.
Rick Ken asking a very good question here. Have you retired the tank top for winter?
I haven't retired anything. I just haven't worn it.
Honestly, the Jets haven't won since you put it on. So they were 2-1 when you last wore the tank top. Notice what
that was because we were in decent weather.
Yeah, but one could argue it wasn't firing Salah that derailed this season. It was you retiring the tank top when the Jets were.
So it's my fault we suck.
I'm not saying it. I'm just saying people are discussing that as a possibility. As you said, all options have to be on the table.
Look, all I'm going to say is that I have not retired the tank top. I will continue. I will wear it during the preseason and during the beginning of the next season.
And what about every other game after that?
Depends on the weather. Anyways, I'll let you continue your own show. You can talk to Gary later. If Gary wants some beef with me, I don't care anymore.
Look, Bowers is awesome. It was also a huge risk if the Jets were going to take him. Olu is a need, and guess what? He's really good. So I feel great about Olu Fashanu being an elite left tackle. And Bowers is awesome, but I'm not even thinking twice about it. If I could do it over right now, I wouldn't. I would still take Olu Fashanu and have my long-term answer at left tackle.
Same here, but everyone else is a critic, so have a good day, Jake.
Lane writes in, did you hear the news that Jimmy Carter died today?
Yes, I did. It's sad. He was a good man. I know he wasn't a very popular president.
I can't see you, Charles. Your face is covered.
I know he wasn't a very popular person when he was president, but he was a respected individual because of the type of person that he is. He was a very humble, he was a very classy individual, and you got to respect that. But the fact that he lived to 100 is an incredible accomplishment. My grandmother's going to be 99 next month.
What's your grandmother's
Jimmy Carter
name?
is a good man. So,
what's your grandmother's name? This is big news.
Why? So you can call her name?
Well, so I can wish her a happy birthday.
No, so you can constantly call her name.
What do you want me to call her? Grandma? She's not my grandma.
It's Mrs. Gorman to you, you poozer.
Wait a second. Mrs. Gorman is your mother.
Mrs. Gorman's also my father's mother.
See, this is very confusing. This is why we need her name.
Mrs. Gorman, my mother, and then there's another Mrs. Gorman, my grandmother.
So can we call her Grandma Gorman?
You can call her Grandma Gorman.
Yeah, but what is her name? Her name's Estelle, right? I think you said it once. Estelle
Josephine.
Gorman. What is it?
Josephine.
Josephine.
We call her Joe. They call her Joe. Her
Grandma
friends call her Joe.
Grandma Joe?
You will not call her Grandma Joe. You will call her Grandma Gorman, like we
What?
agreed.
What do you mean? I never agreed to anything.
You will call her Grandma Gorman, or there will be consequences.
What are you going to do, Charles? I don't want you to be threatening me like you did Gator that one time.
I didn't threaten.
Also, can I ask what a poozer is? I've never heard that term before.
It's another word saying a rookie.
A poozer?
Apparently never watched Green Lantern. Anyway,
Gary's watching the show. He wants to know what are the consequences.
you will be spending the Shadow Realm on my channel for about 2 weeks.
Since when do you have a Shadow Realm?
Since when you have a Shadow Realm?
Well, since I started the show, it's been a running bit of mine for about 3 years.
I was just joking with that, but
you got me.
When
can I meet Grandma Joe?
I'll let you know.
That didn't sound very reassuring.
I'll let you know.
Well, are you actually?
Well, you saw her on camera that one time.
No, I don't believe I did.
Well, in case you haven't, I'll show. And if I'm at her house and if you are on air, I'll show her to you.
Next time I'm on and you're with Grandma Joe, call in. I'd love to talk with her.
No problem.
All right. Thank you, Charles.
You're welcome.
Anything else in your mind? You good?
Other than the fact that we just got to pray for 2025 that is a better year, and hopefully we get what we want in terms of coaching, in terms of general manager, in terms of draft picks and free agents. And also to stop attacking each other like we're a bunch of, excuse my profanity, act like a bunch of freaking schoolyard kids.
A bunch of poozers.
No. It's not going to cut it.
Tom Hayes wants to know, does Grandma Joe have all her teeth?
Are you a sick? Oh, my God. I don't know. Tom Ace, I don't know. Yeah, she still has all her teeth.
I'll tell you what. I think if Grandma Joe makes an appearance during one of your calls, you're a lock to be a 1 seed in the tournament.
All right. I'll make sure you keep your word on that.
I'm saying I think you're a lock. I'm not on the committee. I don't want any biases. I'm not involved.
Okay. But yes, I believe she has all her teeth. Why do you care, Tom Ace? What are you, some type of horn dog?
Whoa. We don't need to be
What are you? Ain't nothing but a horn dog, humping all the time. Dun, dun, dun. Damn it, I messed up the music, the song for it. Good job, Charles. You're my hero. Thank you, Rebecca. Apparently, I lost a subscriber today. Originally, I had 160, but now I got 159. So I don't know what the hell is going on there. I'm not smelling my fingers, Gator. That's smelling my fingers. Green Lanterns. The dog shit comic. Well, I meant the animated series, not the comic, but I do like the Green Lantern character, but that's another story.
Hey, Charles, I think Lane is hitting on your grandma.
She's doing good. She's doing good. No thanks, Knobcraft. I'll pass on smelling your finger. What, Seth Rogen? Or the original Green Hornet? I don't know what you mean, Zach Asman. But, oh, you mean Seth Rogen? I look nothing like him. I know he's a talented guy, but I look nothing like him. Thank you, Ricky. All the 10 almanac fingers? What the hell you mean, Gator? Everyone wants to meet my grandmother now. Unbelievable.
Would you prefer questions about your grandmother or the famous chicken soup recipe?
Neither.
Well, if you only had to be asked questions about one, which is the preference?
I don't mind being asked questions about my grandmother. It's just that people want to meet her. Like, I think everyone wanting to meet her is a bit ridiculous, but
Looks like you're hosting the rest of the show. London Jet says, if Jake comes back on, I'll be mad.
well, I appreciate your compliments, London Jets. Thank you, Rebecca. Also, I checked out your YouTube channel. I heard you were talking about some things, so that's pretty damn awesome, Rebecca. Thank you. If I could smell one Asmaniac finger, I'd rather smell my own. I'm not a pervert or a sexual deviant like Greg Quagmire is from Family Guy.
Giggity.
Giggity, giggity, goo. All right. I am not holding in a fart. If I was, I would have felt it. If you were a tree, what tree would you be? Lumpy. An apple tree? I have no idea. I'm not holding in a shit, Kendrick Lamar. Stop it. God, you guys are unbelievable.
Are you wearing the same shirt right now, Charles, that you wore in this infamous video?
Excuse me. I have multiple t-shirts that are like this.
Same one as this one as well?
Excuse me, I'm sorry, I burped. Yes. Why, you ask?
I just noticed.
Please be sure to shave tomorrow. Yes, Frick. I'll make sure I'll do that.
Knob writes in, Charles, would you let me a wingman for you? Is there a waitress at the diner you've got your eye on?
I don't have an eye on any waitress. I mean, a lot of the waitresses I've seen are very nice and very attractive, but I don't exactly have my eye on them.
So you just turned a blind eye to them?
I don't turn a blind eye. I'm just auditioning the waitress right now.
Jay Grave says, grow the beard. Ladies love beards. And she's a lady, so she could tell you.
I appreciate that, Jay Graves, but I'm going to shave it anyway. I have very sensitive skin, so I need to shave.
David is offering $1,000 for the shirt you're wearing.
Why you want to Venmo me $100,000 for the shirt I'm wearing? That's a good question.
It's $1,000. Who cares?
Well, there has to be a reason for it.
Steve says that's a lot of comics.
I don't just buy comics. I buy other stuff. like movies, video games, that type of stuff. No.
Brazzers.com.
Aha, very funny.
Can you tell the audience to like the video and subscribe to the channel since it's your show now?
Since this is apparently my show, please like and subscribe to the channel. Jake is an awesome guy. Bit of a ball breaker, but he is a nice guy. He's also a good ESPN radio show host. He's pretty good on ESPN.
You're going to listen tomorrow morning?
Or as Ron
6 a.m.?
Burgundy calls it, Espen.
That's right. I'm on 6 a.m. every day this week. Are you going to listen?
When I wake up early, if I wake up early, sure, but, you know.
And how late do you plan on sleeping in tomorrow? The show's on till 10.
I probably sleep until around 9 o'clock. Sometimes I wake
right.
up around close to noon. We're all gore maniacs now.
What's the password to get into your merch store?
What? I don't have a merch store.
CharlesGorman.com/shop.
I don't have a merch store. I don't have a website.
I want a Gourmaniac t-shirt.
I don't have a website nor a store.
Boomtown wants to know, do you prefer Gourmaniacs or Gourmanites?
Neither.
All right. A lot of people want to see what's behind in your closet right now. Can you do a little show and tell?
It's just clothes.
I can't see your face, Charles.
As you can see here, all you have are clothes. These are my comic. Oh, son of a bitch. Clothes, books, and all other stuff.
What about the other door?
Oh, the other door?
Yeah, we didn't see the other door.
This other shit. Well, he gave this to me when I was a kid.
Whoa.
I kept it since I was a kid. My Uncle Kevin gave this to me.
What is it?
It's a WB Mason truck.
Oh, thank you. Couldn't tell.
Who but WB Mason?
Rick Kent says, I see some skeletons in that closet.
Yes, Rick. Well, you see, when you got some people on your list, you got to make sure you got to take care of them. Skeletons in my closet? The hell you mean, man?
Micro Fox has a business idea for you. He says you should own a restaurant and call it Gorman Gourmet. I can't see you, Charles. Your face is covered. No one can see you right now. Where are you, Charles? Are you still there? Whoa!
This is a mask I made for, for Day of the Dead, which is like a Hispanic tradition.
Put it on. Put it on. Put it on. I can't see you, Charles. Charles, I can't see you. You're off screen.
Calm your nipples, Jake.
I only see your seal. Oh! Holy crap. This is the best moment of the Jet season right here, folks.
Hope you liked it. I made that for my late grandfather.
This was one of your best calls, Charles. Well done, sir. Thanks for hosting the show.
Sure thing, no problem. Anyways, I'm going to probably do my best to watch the rest of tonight's game between the Washington. Should I call them Redskins since people petitioned to they have the Redskins name back?
I call them the commies.
Oh, like communists? Ha 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 ha. Anyway, have a good day, Jake, and hopefully I'll turn into your show before the new year.
Well, Charles, please do. And if you're up early, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m., Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, it's 8 a.m. to 12, so that's a little better for your schedule. And then Thursday, it's 6 a.m. to 10. So come on, man. Morning radio in New York City, ESPN, we need you.
Thank you.
All right, Charles, all the love, all right?
Thank you.
You'll never get my chicken soup recipe. I'm not saying that Lowski takes steroids. I need some of it. Hey, Charles! Who is that lovely lady? Send it this way, Charles!
What a moment in time. Where were you when Charles Gorman gave us one of the great calls in the history of any postgame show? I didn't think the show would be talking about this on December 29th. But we adapt around here. Hit the like button if you're tuning in. There's still 600 of you watching. God bless. I love all of you. Patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. If you're interested in our Knicks Asmaniac group buy, I'll have details there hopefully this week. First come, first served to Patreon/Discord users, though, as always. Charles Barkley's watching. Don't worry, Charles. Giants fans got a solid 9-10 enjoyment from the Jet game. 500 touchdowns. Woohoo. Tyrod is the bridge quarterback. Woohoo. Future looks bright. I mean, Tyrod's a good bridge quarterback until he gets hurt. He can't be the only quarterback. They gotta if that's their plan, they're gonna need more to it. Kyle, AR cannot be back making business decisions versus a rival. Yeah, because he didn't fall on the fumble. I mean, I just don't think he's back. I just think they're just gonna try and do a clean break and move on. Sodak Jets writes in, watched a lot of Fields on the Bears. Guy has a lot of Zach Wilson tendencies, takes bad sacks and missing easy throws. I mean, you hope he can get better, right? He was better this year. He played well down the stretch last year for Chicago, where there was like a debate in Chicago, do you keep him? Look, do I think Fields will come here and be great? No, but would I rather take my chance on a guy who's young and has first-round pedigree than a journeyman like Andy Dalton? Yeah. The Lup Man in on the raffle. Last chance to get in on the raffle. A 5-spot of raffle lottery tickets, courtesy of the Lup Man.
It's the Asmaniac membership raffle. For every membership gifted, you receive 1 ticket entered in the raffle to win epic prizes.
Hell yeah. Let's find out who got these from Luppy if YouTube will allow me, but it's frozen on my end, so I can't even tell you yet. But Luppy, thank you. I got you down. Also, this $20 super check counts for 5 raffle tickets. I am coming down with the jet-induced COVID like Joe B weeks ago. Oh, to pain. Jake and guys, thanks for the membership. MD, thank you, man. Thanks for supporting the show. Goes a long way. I have Beningo news. So Joe texted me that he was not going to do the show tomorrow because he's numb. And he said he'll be back after the season finale. But I texted him. I go, could you give me 15 minutes? And he goes, I am beyond numb, but for you, what time? So I told Joe 11. So I'm hoping we'll get Joe B tomorrow. We might get a rare form of Joe B. Tune in tomorrow. Find out. Joey says, that Gorman segment made this non-Jet fan become a sub. The mask was epic. You know, it's funny. First off, Joey, thank you. I have heard from a lot of people that watch this show that aren't Jet fans because of the outlandish things that happen. So I understand some of you want more football, and we do that. Find me a YouTube channel that gives you more content than this one. You won't. because no one does the amount of length of shows or the volume of shows that I do. But I meet a lot of people who aren't even Jet fans who tune in now because of the caller. So that's a testament to the Asmaniacs. Yeah, I promise you, if the Jets were ever good, we would talk about it, as we've done. OG says, yo, I put my membership in. Where's my ticket? I got you, OG. I got you. I see you right here. I got you down. Don't worry. I'll add you to the bucket after the show. Tonight's the last show to get in. If you want a chance to win I got two of them. The replica Joe Namath Super Bowl III ring. I ordered another one specifically because of amount of raffle entries we were getting. Also have the Rodgers jersey, Wayne Corbett rookie card, Copper John's gift card, items from the merch store, and a whole lot more. Holy crap. Rob Basil's in for 10 memberships. I'll get to Rob's memberships, but first, Primo, Gentleman, Brian, RNL, Edwin Garcia, Dave, Sports Quest, all got the memberships from the Lutman. Rob in for 10, Javon, Devon Key, Will M, AZ Packer, Lais Snyderman, Rich Lick, TLC Gaming, DLB, Gletty, Edward, all in one. If you haven't gotten a membership yet, make sure you hit the like button and you're subscribed to the channel, and hope YouTube doesn't hate you because they randomly assign it based on it's supposed to be, I thought, based on people who interact with the channel the most, but then you have people like Rob V who can't get one, so I don't know. Unreal. All right, more of your calls right now. We got some heavy hitters on the line. Indy Jets is next. What's up, Indy?
Jake. Hey, Jake.
Indy, how are you?
You know, I don't even want to talk football. I want to talk about this Fashanu Brock Bowers bet that you and Gary have going on. This dinner bet. I believe.
What is the bet again? I don't even know what it is.
Something about whoever. I watched your Christmas Eve show, and you know whoever becomes the better player has to buy dinner or whatever it is, you know. And I think that after Gary's statement the other day, he should not only just buy you dinner, it better come with chocolate and flowers, because that's just how bad his comment was. I've been busy, so I haven't been able to call in. But for him to say Brock Bowers is having the best season a tight end has ever had in the history of football, right there just tells me that Gary from SpongeBob knows more about football than Gary that calls into the Dick Asman show. That's all I wanted to say.
Look, I don't even remember him saying that because all his takes are all over the place, so I can't keep track of the bad ones.
Yeah, I think it has to be one of his worst ones, though.
Yeah, I mean, look, if he's going to argue Bowers is having like the greatest tight end of any rookie, I guess based on yards, that's fair. I mean, his team is terrible. And if you ask me, do I regret the Jets not taking him? No, I think they made the right decision. And I'm not a Joe Douglas defender by any means, but I think Olu is a very good left tackle. And I value the long-term answer at left tackle than a tight end. Like, to me.
And today's game was the perfect example of why having a great left tackle is important.
Yeah, I mean, watch Max Mitchell or Carter Warren play. Like, that's why the Jets needed Olu Fashanu.
Yeah, would Brock Bowers have felt today? No. With Max Mitchell playing left tackle, no. But if Fashanu was playing today, you might have seen a different outcome. So, you know, I think that whole Brock Bowers, as great as he can be, or, you know, I think Fashanu is the right guy. And we've got our offensive line for the most part for next year. Quarterback, you know, I think Rodgers can just move on and we'll figure it out from there. But no, I had to laugh about that take of Brock Bowers having the quote for a tight end, the best season ever in the history of football. He didn't say rookie. He just said as a tight end. I'm like, he said some really crazy things before, but I think with this dinner bet that he's got, he should just go ahead and pay up. I think he should just go ahead and just Venmo you the $100 or whatever it is that bet was. And we'll, you know, and then we'll just keep taking his crazy takes and get Gary from SpongeBob can continue to make his crazy hour mistakes.
I agree. Gary should just Venmo me $100 and we'll call it a day.
Yeah. So you got it. Yeah, I second that. Even Allan probably would agree that that's so far out that I don't even think Allan could even agree to that. So that tells you how far out it is.
J Quest says Gary.
But that's all I needed.
Jets.
Gary's greater than Indy. I can't see the chat. Where's Gary at? We need to get Gary on here.
Gary, call in and talk to Indy. We'll see you then. He was speechless for a little while there. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us right now is someone that the Jet organization should be taking notes every time he speaks. Beastbreaker 666 is up next. Hello, Beastbreaker.
After what I saw today, this was a disgrace. That whole goddamn team needs to be reevaluated. Rule 1. That whole goddamn defense team, what a disaster. What the hell is that? It was like watching dog shit go through manure. It was horrible. That's why I said, I'm turning this fucking game off. This is embarrassing. We are a laughingstock. I think it's time. There is several things that we need to address. The Mike guy, let's see I want to see what he brings to the table. But we can also add Rex Ryan to the mix too. Let's bring that double combination together. Now, if you really want this team to look like a combination of destruction and annihilation, this is what you do. The $10 billion, we're going to need it next year. We're going to need it. Because I am very disappointed in our team this year. Very, very disappointed. Aaron Rodgers, put him on we can sure use him, but here's the deal. Get rid of that other quarterback. We don't need him. We can go out in the market and go get some talent, fresh talent. We keep Breece Hall. We keep Brandon Allen. Those two guys they're fast, but the offensive line and the defensive line, give the bastards their pink slips and tell them, you gotta go. You're lazy. You're dumb. You stand there and you got one finger up your ass and you don't want to listen. You know what? This is what makes you unemployed. And this is what I've addressed last time. If you don't want to be here, here's your pink slip. Get the hell out of here. We don't want you here. You don't want to cooperate. You don't want to do your job. Fine. Go somewhere else then, because we're not going to have it here. This is embarrassing. For 14 years, we've had guys that have come, gone. Most of them didn't want to last. I take a couple examples. Adam Gracie, not that good. He wasn't so hot. Robert Saleh, not so good. Rex Ryan, still the man. Also, let's see, what other guys can I bring? Oh, yeah, the 96 season that you brought up today, that's the proof right there that we all saw. This goes right back to the 96 season when the Jets were 1-15. Parcells, when he came from New England and signed with the Jets, that was the turning point. See, that's where he said, okay, if I'm going to have great players here, then here's what I do. I'm going to have to, sit them down, get on their ass a little harder, and make these bastards work for it. I mean, we used to be a backbone. Now we're like used meat that looks like shit through straw, and this is embarrassing. What the hell is wrong with this team? I'll tell you what's wrong with this team. We get rid of the crap we don't need. Get rid of that Tyrod Taylor guy. Get rid of him. Bye-bye to him. Let's see, who could we also say bye-bye to? The defensive line, bye-bye. Offensive line, see ya. We need new kickers. Carlson, he can go bye-bye. That Greg Zuerlein guy, I don't know. He didn't live up to his end of the bargain. I think it's time to say, bye-bye. He ain't worth it. He ain't worth it. Sure, he did great, but unfortunately, we need talent. We need young stars. We need fresh new talent. And I think it is time to go, right through all these colleges, start looking for the talent, and also we can look for some key veteran players out there too. I mean, let's look at it. Josh Fields. You brought 1 point up about Josh Fields. Okay. Where do you put him? Where do you stick him? Good question. How about you do this? If Aaron Rodgers wants that pay cut, give him the pay cut. Let him sit on the bench. Let him work with the guys. I mean, come on. He could be like a Bill Belichick, draw out some plays, figure it out. I mean, this ain't no goddamn rocket science. This is simple mathematical, brain thinking. And this is what we ought to do next. Kickers. I do want to see a good kicker. I want a good one. I mean, I want somebody with a power leg. Let's look at it this way. Does anybody remember a great name called Sean Landeta, who used to play for the Giants? Or John Hall, who used to play for the Jets? Or Mike Vanderjagt played for the Colts? Or Adam Vinatieri played for the Patriots? I do. Or even the great Kevin Butler from the old Chicago Bears back in 1985. Come on. We need guys that have balls. I mean, take an example. The 98 Jets, when they had John Abraham, Jason Ferguson, Dwayne Robinson, also Sean Ellis, Mo Lewis, and also Victor Green, even Otis Smith. We had a combination of an annihilation that was just way too powerful. That was a 12-4 team that I remembered. Then years later, 2002, Chad Pennington comes on. We go to the playoffs. Okay, we didn't get what we wanted, but we at least try our best. But I'm getting sick and tired of this. I mean, we need to get our goddamn heads out of our big asses and start realizing that you know what? If this team doesn't have a future, then we're shit on a stick. Because I'm gonna
thinking is overrated. Thank you very much, Peace Breaker. You made a lot of great points. And I appreciate your time tonight. Give it up for Beast Breaker, everyone. Huge shout out to Dr. Frank Falcone Jr. Are you kidding me? Happy holidays, Jake. On my phone, so I can't gift memberships, but I hope this suffices. I made a live show for once. Happy New Year to all. Dr. Frank, you will be entered in the raffle, my man. Thank you. I got you down. 20 raffle tickets for $100 right there. That's awesome. Thank you very much. And I also wanted to take some of your super chat and put it right back into the channel. So I just gifted 5 channel memberships, courtesy of Dr. Frank Falcone. Javon, you're a member. Hold on. I got to get it to load here. It's a little delayed. Where did the 5 go that I gifted? Also, by the way, Beast, Sean Ellis not on the 98 Jets, but everything else spot on. Great points. Sean Ellis drafted in 2000. If you got the memberships for me, congrats. I can't find it. John, thank you. Raffle ticket with your name. We will add it. All right. Let's get back to your calls right now. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us on the Gustbuster Umbrella Hotline is someone that this channel knows very well. He's polarizing. Some like him, some hate him. And you never know what's going to happen.
Warning! Warning! Allan alert! Shit's about to get ugly, folks. Warning! Allan alert! Hide the children!
Hello, Jake. How are you? First of all, I got to give you credit. Yeah, I've been in bed for like a week, so that's pretty much it. I got to give you credit. The idea of monetizing this channel this year at 4 and 12, kudos. God bless you. Couple of questions. Did the 3 clowns, the A-Rod truthers, did Rob, Neil, or Bonesy call in tonight?
I have not heard from them on this postgame.
I'm not shocked. Okay. 2 years ago, I, like you, love the idea of bringing Aaron Rodgers here. Okay, I'm not going to deny it. I wanted him here. Nearly 2 years later, Aaron Rodgers has become like a drug for all these Aaron Rodgers truthers. All I keep hearing is what great stats he has. It's not his fault. The coaching sucks. All year, I heard it from Rob, and I heard it from Neil, and I heard it from Bonesy.
Well, the coaching does suck. We can't
It
just
sucks.
pretend like
It sucks. Okay, but 4-12 is 4-12. Okay, and what I watched today is a quarterback who has no interest in anything Jets. For him, it is all about being selfish. I truly believe for the next week, and I have no confidence the Jets would do this. I would bench him before the season finale. I know people have been calling in, oh, it's so great for him to get his 500th touchdown. How does that affect a Jet fan? What is the point? Who gives two shits?
They're not going to bench him though. There's one game left. What is benching him?
Why even play him? Who cares
Because
anymore?
there's one game left. Why?
Because it doesn't.
Why embarrass a Hall of Famer on the way out?
You know what? He's not our Hall of Famer. He's a Green
It doesn't
Bay
matter.
Packer.
It makes
There
the Jets
no
look
reason.
Allan,
There's no reason for him to play anymore.
It makes the Jets look worse and a bigger bleep show if you bench him. Just let him play the last game. Who cares?
I remember at halftime of the Rams game when they were up, I believe, at 9-3 or 9-6. 5 quarters later, they did not get one single point with Aaron Rodgers as quarterback. That was it. That should be the end of it. And all I keep hearing from these Aaron Rodgers truthers are, oh, what about if Aaron doesn't come back? Who will be his replacement? They've had Aaron Rodgers all year, and they're 4-12. Who gives two shits who the replacement is? They're not going to win anyhow next year. They're just not.
They could be better, though. I wouldn't give up on the year.
They could be better. 7 wins. Who cares? It's over.
But we don't know that, though.
They are not winning anything next year with this
I'm not saying bring Rodgers back, but I'm saying there's a path to being a competitive team next year that's fighting for a playoff spot with a real head coach, which should be the #1 goal for this team.
And by the way, Mike Vrabel has no interest in this job. I know what you're saying.
That?
He is not coming here. If he has any, he is not coming here. He is
How
not
do you know that?
Because he wants to go somewhere else. I think he's using the Jets to get another job.
Well, you tell me what job. You tell me what jobs are opening. Tell me what jobs are opening where he's going.
I will tell you the job he will get. After I watched what happened yesterday in Foxborough,
they're not going to fire him.
I think they are going to fire Gerard Mayo and they will hire Mike Vrabel. They will. And now with the
Patriots, was literally a report a week ago from Rappaport saying
every report you can say, okay, they have the #1 pick in the draft right now if the season ended. You don't think he would take that job in a heartbeat?
What, for what, one player? Okay, great.
No, they have a starting quarterback.
And an owner who's cheap and a roster that sucks.
They have $132 million of cap space. And they have the #1 pick in the draft. You don't think he would take that job if offered over the Jets? In 1 second, he would take that job.
I don't know if he would.
Yes, he would. He would take that job.
Okay, couple things here. One, that job is not open right now. So if it is open, maybe things change. But that's where the Jets, if they're smart, need to prepare to hire the guy. He wants to work with a GM he's comfortable with. You don't. Who's Elliott Wolf? He has no relationship to Mike Vrabel.
I think they're gonna blow it up. I really do.
Then we'll see. But until that happens,
Mayo will be gone. After what happened yesterday, and listening to some of the comments by the veteran players with the Patriots after that performance yesterday, they want him gone. They've completely tuned out their head coach.
I mean, there's definitely going to be coaching staff changes. But like, I want to make this clear to you. Okay, so guess what? They might fire Gerard Mayo. I'm not giving the Jets a pass for that. Go get the guy then. And there's also other coaches out. It doesn't just have to be Vrabel. He's my #1 guy, but I want someone with experience. All right, the Browns fire Stefanski. I want him. If Brian Flores is out there, I will take him.
That is the guy, after what I watched today, I know the last couple of minutes were awful against the Packers. Just the way he coached that game on the sidelines, I think right now he looks like he could be the favorite because I think he brings experience.
There is no favorites. There's nothing. We have no idea.
I think it's important. As much as I want Ben Johnson, he's not taking this job. I don't think Liam Cohen's going to take this job. maybe Aaron Glenn takes this job.
Why
'cause
do you act like no one's going to take this job? You
I
do
just
realize
don't
how
thi-
silly that is.
I just don't think it's a really good job to take, honestly.
What?
Especially with
tell
his
me
coach,
what jobs
especially
are
with his
so much
owner.
better. So tell me what jobs are that much better. I got news for you. Most of the jobs out there aren't great. I don't think Dallas is even becoming available.
I don't
now,
think Dallas is available. I agree. I think the
So-
Jaguar
so
job
tell
is
me-
better. I think the
how?
Jaguar job is because I think they have a young quarterback
Oh,
that
please.
a young off. I think they have a young quarterback that an offensive young offensive coordinator would be fascinated to work with, whether it's Cohen or even whether it's Monken. I think that's a job that they would take.
Why would
I
Liam
think
Cohen, by the way,
Saints-
not take the Jet job? Where are all the teams that are dying to hire Liam Cohen? There's like you make it seem like no one would ever want to take the Jet job. That's just objectively
also
speaking not true.
I also
was Robert Saleh not considered the top candidate 4 years ago when they hired him?
He was, absolutely. But again, I want an offensive-minded coach. I don't think they're going to get one. I think the major issue with the Jets right now is the owner.
I
just
agree.
don't think
I agree.
I don't think coaches and general managers want to deal with him.
Yeah,
And
but
that's why
that doesn't stop them from being able to hire someone. What they need to do is sit that guy down, give him a bunch of money, and Woody can make it very clear. I don't have a reputation of ever meddling until this year when I thought we had a talented team and I lost faith in the people that I had here. I mean, it's very easy for him to answer to that.
I've listened to you for the last month, and you've been a little wishy-washy whether you want Rodgers back and whether you want him to return or either. What do you want right now with a week left? What should be the benefit? What should be the next move for the Jets in 2025?
I want to make it clear. What I want does not matter. I want the next GM and coach to decide. I don't want Woody's influence on this decision because I think that'd be crazy.
But what do you want right now?
I would move on from him at this point. I would move on. I think you're dealing with the risk of him being hurt again next year. He's another year older, and I think if you're going to bring the only coach that I would think Rodgers is potentially back is if it's Vrabel. I don't see any other coach wanting Rodgers for another
I think
year.
Rex would be the only one. I don't want him back, but I think Rex would be the guy that would work with Rodgers and maybe Vrabel. I just don't think Vrabel's going to take this job. That's just my opinion. I don't think he'll take this job. And I think Rex would be the other one. Maybe a Gruden, but I don't think they're going to go.
I don't know. Rex loves Tyrod Taylor. He had him in Buffalo. He always talks highly of Tyrod. So it wouldn't shock me if Rex is like, if Aaron's not going to learn a new offense or they want to move on. I don't know. I think Vrabel might be the only coach that I think would want Rodgers back. I still think he would.
And two other comments. How Michael Clemens has survived 2 years with this roster is embarrassing, is a joke to the whole organization. The idea he was not cut 2 years ago and continues to play. Again, when he is gone after this year, he will never get another job. He won't. He will not be an NFL player. No team will even take a chance on him. I really don't think so. I think he's that much.
He should be in the XFL. He's terrible.
And finally, Garrett Wilson. Okay. Garrett Wilson is a proud football player. I think he really cares about image. And I don't think he will go out in the forefront and say, I want to be gone.
Hold on. Allan, your calls are so annoying that you broke my StreamYard and I have to log in from my phone to try and fix it. Stand by. Continue.
I think Garrett Wilson,
Having issues here. Hold on.
Good. I appreciate it.
God. All right.
I think
Garrett's not requesting a trade. Can we stop? If that's going to be your point, I can't do it. He literally gave a quote after the game that basically poo-pooed the whole idea he's requesting a trade. The next
you
GM
be
should give him a
shocked
contract extension. Yes, I would be shocked if he's not a Jet next year. Stunned, actually.
Okay.
It would kill me if he's not a Jet. I think it'd be beyond moronic. And the one thing I know Woody loves is he loves himself wide receivers and loves Garrett Wilson. I believe
So
Garrett
if
Wilson will sign
Aaron
an
comes
extension.
back, you think Garrett stays with him?
I don't think Aaron's back, so I don't think it really matters.
Okay. I agree with that. I think the only way Garrett comes back is if Aaron and Adams are gone. I think they both need to go.
It's not up to Garrett Wilson. It's not.
I just don't think all three can coexist next year. I don't think all three can coexist next year. I think Garrett sees himself as a guy who should get more opportunities. And
Allan,
I know
it's
he's number 4
You're
in targets.
acting like he's a free agent. He has no control. He cannot force himself out of the Jets. He is under control for 2 more years and the franchise tag if they really wanted to, play hardball with him. Like, what are we talking about, man? He's under contract. He's under contract. He's not being traded. Why would you trade him?
I personally don't want to trade him.
So what GM is trading Garrett Wilson?
I think if there's going to be chatter behind the scenes, which there might be.
Oh, there's chatter. Ooh.
There might be. I can see them trading him, especially if it's a regime that did not bring him in. I really do.
Based on what? This is what I'm saying to you.
I think he's a guy that has seen so much losing the last 3 years that in year 4, and he sees all these teams with really good quarterbacks that need top-notch receivers, he might say, you know what, fuck this. I want to get the hell out of here.
It's not up to him. What don't you understand? He's not a free agent. He's on his
I know he's not a free agent,
contract.
but I would not be surprised if he's on the market this offseason. I will not.
Oh, he's on the market because he might request a trade like all these other guys have done, and it never happens?
I think that he will request the trade. I do.
There's literally a quote from him after this game today. Can I read it to you? You probably haven't seen this yet.
Okay, let me read the quote. I did not see it.
There's a quote from Garrett Wilson today, and if my internet would fucking load, God, I've had enough. I hate this team. I hate talking to you. Garrett Wilson said, "It's frustrating, but it's going to make those good times down the road that much more enjoyable because we went through things like this."
Again, I think image is extremely important to Garrett. I think there will be a different perspective behind the scenes from this guy.
Great, Allan. You know what Garrett Wilson's pissed off about? Losing. You know what Garrett Wilson will be excited about? A coach who comes in with a real vision for him. A GM who offers him a contract extension, which I fully anticipate happening. Why would the Jets trade away a guy who, if he remains a Jet, will have every single record that any Jet receiver has ever had? Your speculation is not based on reality. He's under contract for 2 more years and the franchise tag.
I just think 3+ years of losing has really taken its toll.
Great.
On the guy.
Then why? Then every player on the Jets should request a trade that's any good.
I
Quinn
would not,
Williams
but
should.
Really,
Sauce should. All these guys. Quincy should. They all should just request trades. Then guess what? They're under contract.
I would not be surprised also if one of the 2022 draft picks will get traded.
That's a different conversation than saying Garrett's requesting a trade.
I think Garrett is going to request the trade through his agents behind the scenes. I do. I think
there's no behind the scenes. It's going to get out. There's no such thing as behind the scenes.
It's going to get out, but I think all the chatter will be coming from his agent. Nothing will come from him. I think they will come from his agent.
Allan, that's how it always works. Find me the athlete. So find me the athlete that came out and said, I want to be traded. That's never what happens.
He will never say it. I think image is extremely important to him, but I do think that.
So he's not going to be traded. He's not going to be traded.
Would you be shocked if he gets traded?
I would be stunned, flabbergasted.
And what would be your reaction if he gets traded this
I would be, unless you're telling me they got 2 first-round picks and then some, I would be livid. And even then, I still don't think I would trade the guy.
Okay. And finally, I'm a little disappointed that the 3 clowns, the A-Rod truthers, didn't have the balls to come out and speak in front of this chat tonight. Again, they have been speaking the last 3 to 4 weeks about how.
Ladies and gentlemen, sports fans of all ages, welcome to the event of the year, the moment you've all been waiting for. This is the Asmaniac Rumble.
Rob,
don't talk about me. I'm on.
Yes,
I'm on.
I'm impressed you came on.
I'm
but the idea that you want this guy back is unbelievable.
He had a bad game. He had a bad game.
Bad game. Again, we talked about the good teams. The last 2.
So let me ask you a question. Do you think Max Mitchell and Carter Warren had anything to do with it today, or zero?
It did. But again, they stink. I understand they stink. And that was Joe Douglas
that
who
hurt.
drafted these 2 clowns. I understand.
That hurt, yes.
They were
yes.
4th-round picks.
Offensive line hurt them today.
But the idea that Aaron Rodgers at 4-12 is going to be a great option next year, I just don't see it. I don't think it's.
I don't know about a great option, Allan. But if Rabel comes back and he thinks, like, let's say Rodgers has a really good game against Miami, and we get Rabel.
What is the difference of having a good game next week? The place will be 2/3 empty and will be mostly Dolphin fans. Like,
let's just pretend.
Give 2 shits next week.
Let's just pretend he has a good game, and Vrabel takes over next year.
I think you don't think there's any possibility that they would take him on one more year. You don't
No,
think
I do
so?
not. I think it's over. I do.
I think he has a slight chance.
I think
But
it's less
probably
than
more.
5% right now. I
It's
do.
probably more no than yes.
I think the
But
idea that the last
what
5
bothers
quarters.
me, Alan, what bothers me, Alan, is that every single good coach or player, you're saying that they demanding a trade off. Garrett Wilson wants off the team. Ben Johnson doesn't have any interest on
Ben
the Jets.
Johnson has no interest for this job. He
Okay,
wants to
that's
work
fine.
with a young quarterback.
I don't even want him. I don't want Ben Johnson, to be honest with you. No, I don't. Because I don't think he's the answer to this type of team. He could be a good coach, but I think the Jets need a disciplinarian guy like a Vrabel. They need that type of a coach. I'm not saying Ben Johnson can't be a good coach. He can be. But let's be honest here. We need a disciplinarian type of Bill Parcells type of guy. And Ben Johnson is not that type of a guy. Let's be honest here.
The
So,
more
yeah,
I
I'd rather
think
have
about
Vrabel.
this job, the more I don't think Vrabel is going to take this job. I think
Why?
Vrabel will have I think he'll have many more opportunities that will be
Like
more
who?
enticing.
All
I
right, so
think
what would be better?
I think the Patriot job will be open. I do. And I think that will be an enticing job for him. Stud
I don't know.
quarterback, number 1 pick in the draft, and all that cap space.
Well, they said that they
could
already
say
said
all
that
they want. They could say all they want.
They said that they weren't going to fire Mayo.
What happened yesterday in their own building, losing 40-7, and hearing some of the quotes by the players after the game, I think they're absolutely done with the coach. And I think what's going to
I don't
happen
know.
is I think Kraft is going to
Well, that's
realize.
fair to Mayo to fire
I
him.
wouldn't have settled for 20. That fucking moron. That fucking moron. That fucking moron.
Oh, sorry about that. I had to end the Allan hour and play Allan calling Bobby Midnight an effing moron in the show recently, even though Bobby blindly defends Allan for some odd reason. Allan, your speculation is just brutal, man. You might be right. Maybe the Patriots do fire Gerard Mayo. I don't know. But I think the idea that the Patriot job is automatically better than the Jet job, objectively speaking, is crazy to me. Like, Mike Vrabel only gets one more chance to be a head coach. So the more talented team, to me, is the Jets. Now, do the Patriots have the young, potentially promising rookie quarterback? Sure, but has Drake May been that great? Like, we don't know what he is. It's a giant unknown, right? A year ago, we anointed C.J. Stroud as the greatest thing ever. Go look at his numbers. You watched him on Christmas. The constant negative speculation, always, man. Like, it's exhausting, dude. Like, stop telling us Garrett Wilson's going to be out of here. You have no idea. Okay, he requests a trade. Then what? The Jets have to trade him? What, if you're the next GM of the Jets, you think that the first thing you're going to do is, yes, you're going to trade away the guy who set franchise records for 3 years and is young, cares, and has a high give a crap rating. Give me a break. Also, John, Vrabel's dream job is not the Patriots or Ohio State. So that's based on what? You just connecting the dots. He played there and went to Ohio State. You remember how the Patriots treated them on the way out? Go read Gary Myers' post about that. This idea that, oh, he's so loyal to the Patriots. Please. Like, some of you have no idea what you're talking about. And I can't do it anymore. And I got to be up at 6 a.m, so this show's ending soon. Because God help us. This season has killed me. I hate the Jets. I hate them, but I love all of you. Nick Shine, the G. Wilson quote doesn't mean good times with this team. I just think the idea we're speculating on Garrett Wilson without a new GM and coach in place is baseless, reckless, and it's not based on anything. Okay, he requests a trade. Why would if I'm Thomas Dimitroff, why am I trading Garrett Wilson? Have you seen the Jets receivers if they don't have Garrett Wilson part of it next year? Who are they throwing the football to? Malachi Corley, who can't get on the field? Xavier Gibson? Because Devontae's not here if Rodgers is gone. So who are they throwing the football to? Please tell me. Hey, Bobby Midnight, one more time.
I wouldn't have settled for 20. That fucking moron. That fucking moron. That fucking moron.
I'm just throwing that out there. Tremendous. All right, a couple more calls here. Rapid fire. Luppy's up next. What's up, Luppy?
Hey, how you doing, Jake? Listen, a little different take. I just saw a game tonight that changed my mind about the team. I thought that we were a coach away, GM and coach away. We had a lot of talent, and I'm watching this talent not care. There's a few of them that did. Garrett Wilson is one of them. So I'm like, you do not lose that guy. I'm hearing everybody like Garrett Wilson wants to leave. No, we have control on him. That's somebody that, to me, is a cornerstone of the franchise. You don't just throw people away like that. But there's a lot of people. The first time I saw this saying this is that we need to blow up a lot more than I thought we did. I
What are you
thought we were
blowing
more
up?
talented. Trading everybody, just whatever
Why?
you need. Because a lot of them just seemed like they weren't part of the team. There's Garrett Wilson. He looked like he was great. Conklin was you're just watching this team and you're watching the drive and you see the people when chips are down.
Well, tell me who you're trading, Luppy. I'm not understanding what you're.
I'm just saying the doors are open. I think we need to blow it up a lot more than I thought it did.
What are you blowing? But what are you blowing up? The roster is going to look a lot different because you're aging out a lot of the guys on one-year deals that were veterans. Like Tyron Smith's not here next year. You're blowing up your starting offensive line. You're blowing up Olu Fashanu and Joe Tippmann and AVT, who's under contract for another year.
No, there's some guys that actually did do it the right thing.
Yeah, I'll tell you what you're blowing up. You ready for this? Javon Kinlaw, get out.
Yep.
Hassan Reddick, get out.
Yep. What's he doing in coverage though, Kinlaw? I'm watching him in coverage. Like, what's he doing?
So like
did you see that?
That's what we're talking about, Luppy. Like
yes.
You're just like you're saying blow things up. Those guys weren't going to be here anyway.
I wasn't feeling this
game had
week,
no.
though.
No. You weren't thinking Javon Kinlaw should go or Hassan Reddick should go until today.
Yeah,
Luppy, this defense fucking. I'm going to curse here. Sorry, I'm on hour number 8 of talking about this shit franchise. This defense is goddamn terrible. Most of it should go. Besides Will McDonald, Jermaine Johnson, Quincy Williams. I'd re-sign Jamie Sherwood. That guy's a dog. He can play for me any day.
Yes.
Sauce and Michael Carter. Everyone else, goodbye. See you later. Get the bleep out. Is that enough for you, Luppy? Have we blown it up enough?
No, that's exactly what I'm saying. But did you think about that last year, that's what we needed to do?
No, Luppy. I thought going into this year, what they needed to do was keep Aaron Rodgers healthy, and the defense would be really good like it's been the last 2 years. I didn't anticipate it completely falling apart. I didn't anticipate the head coach being fired 5 games into the year, expediting this nightmare season.
That's my point. That is exactly my point.
Okay, so we agree then, Luppy. We agree. So they don't need to blow it up. You know what they need to do? They need to retool and get a real coach who can maximize the existing talent that is on this team because they still do have talent.
Yeah, you're right, Jake. But
everyone I said blow up, everyone you want to blow up, they're not going to be here anyway because they suck. They suck. They stink. All right? They're awful.
Man, Jake, rant it on because I feel the same way. To get disgraced like that about Buffalo. I mean, not to get in the end zone with Aaron Rodgers. That was freaking disgrace. Aaron Rodgers needs to go. I was Aaron Rodgers. Like, okay, we can carry him over. No, fuck this. I'm sorry, I cursed again. Seriously, though. Seriously, Jake. And like I said, I thought we were closer than we actually are. That's my point.
I mean, Luppy, this team has had the lead in the fourth quarter in 6 games this year. This is only the 3rd game this year they've been blown out. Like today, this was a classic late season, pack your bags kind of game. It doesn't change the fact that this team with real coaching would have more than 4 wins. Way more than 4 wins.
I know, but there's a lot more weaknesses than we thought.
No. I know what the weaknesses are. I see it. Their weaknesses are coaching. Fix the defensive line that Joe Douglas completely dismantled after it's been one of the biggest strengths of the team the last 2 years. Get a real kicker. How many games did Greg Zuerlein cost them this year, Luppy? That's what we're talking about.
They waited too long. They waited too long on everything.
So I'm tired of hearing about all the additional week. No, here's the bottom line with the Jets. Get a real coach. That's where it all starts. I mean, have you watched the Chargers this year? How'd they do it? They won 5 games last year. Did you watch the Denver Broncos this year? They need a real football coach, whether it's Vrabel or Flores, or if they hire a first-timer, I pray to God they get it right, but I will have very little confidence. It starts with coaching. Do they have other issues with the roster? Sure, every team does. But they need to get a real coach, man. You can't tell me this team would only have 4 wins if they had a legit NFL coach coaching them right now. There's no way. You're talking about blow it up. Yeah, they need to make those changes we just talked about, right? But blow it up. Like, I'm not blowing up the offensive line. I got 4 of my 5 starters in place. I'm not blowing up Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall, Braylon Allen, Isaiah Davis. I'm going to have a real coach that knows how to utilize the strength of this team, which should be running the football. Hire a real offensive line coach. Luppy, who wants to blow it up, has gifted 5 channel memberships. Luppy, I got you down in the raffle.
It's the Asmaniac membership raffle. For every membership gifted, you receive 1 ticket entered in the raffle to win epic prizes.
All right. God, I really don't want to do this. But we have no choice.
Gas station pizza is better than a Big Mac.
You always have a choice, Jake. You could not take my call, but I appreciate you taking my call. I kind of agree with Allan on 2 different points. A, why not start Taylor? Like, I'm fine. If you start Rodgers, I'm not going to object. But, like, why not start Taylor?
Start him. Great. I don't care. Next.
Okay. His point about Garrett Wilson is going to be a Jet next year. So I think he's 100% wrong on that. The point he made about Wilson being sick and tired of losing is I've accumulated it right here. In his 6 years at Ohio State and Lake Travis High School, he went 72-8. He hates losing. It's obvious. He's had it. I don't think he wants to be here anymore. I think he wants to go anywhere other than here because he's never lost in his life. He's never been allowed to lose in his life. Everywhere he's ever played competitive football, losing is not tolerated. It's unacceptable. And here he goes 7-10, 7-10, and 4-12. Like, he's had it. I think he doesn't matter because he's not going to get traded on his rookie deal. That's out. So he's going to be here. But I do agree that the losing has gotten to him, and he does want to go.
Yeah, people are trying to make it like it's him versus Rodgers. I think it's just built up frustration over 3 years of losing for a guy that's a winner his whole life until he got here. And that happens. And that's why I think it's incredibly important for the Jets to get these 2 hires right at GM and more importantly, head coach.
He never played on a team that didn't go to the playoffs and was not fully expected to compete for a championship until he got here. And now he's on a consistent loser, like a really, really bad team.
And this year
losing
was supposed
sucks,
to be,
man. I get it.
Yeah. And look, and this year was supposed to be different, and it's been a nightmare. So
there's just a lot of frustration.
Hold on
around.
1 second. Jersey Jet writes in, you care, Jake. It's written all over her face. 500 touchdowns means something to you. Ladies and gentlemen, Jersey Jet, you are tonight's dumbass of the day. I could give a crap whether Rodgers gets 500 touchdowns or not. If Tyrod plays, great. I don't care. I'm just simply saying I don't see the point in playing Tyrod. Rodgers is probably going to play because they're not going to try and make it a bigger bleep show of benching him with 1 game to go. But thank you for your contributions. Your day is done. You bum.
Into the shadow realm you go.
It doesn't happen often where an NFL team or organization gets embarrassed. The Jets did that this year.
I think he needs to keep my coach's names out of his mouth.
Continue, Gary. God.
No, that's I had something else, but it's not really significant. And any comments about Olu Fasano and Brock Bowers? I'm not even going to justify that. I'm not. That was so silly. I'm not even.
You know what's likely going to happen? Brock's going to be awesome, which he has been, and Olu's going to be worth the Jets picking him where they picked him because they're going to need a long-term left tackle. Like, I don't really understand. Like, I thought Brock would be a good player. I just didn't want the Jets taking the risk. I thought they needed to tackle more. That's all it was. It was about position value in the top 10. Like, Brock is a historical outlier how good he's been. Good for him. I wanted Olu Fashanu because he plays a premium position. And today we watched Max Mitchell single-handedly cost the Jets points with the safety, and he was awful throughout the game. So to me, Olu Fashanu is really good, and I like him.
No, that's fine. I've never knocked Olu in his limited play. He's played fine. He's played better than fine. He's been good. It's not a problem at all. We'll address that further down. I would take the generational tight end over the very good tackle.
I get it. Look, Bowers is awesome. I'm not saying he's not good. People have like misconstrued my opinion on Bowers. I thought he would suck. That was never my thing. It was I didn't want the Jets to be the outlier team to draft the tight end 10th overall when the history of tight ends in the top 10 before now Bowers has been abysmal. Let's call it for what it is.
No, it was.
And also, the Raiders suck with Bowers. So it's like, to me, I'll take
the Jets suck with Persano. Like, what's the difference?
Yeah, but what's more valuable for a franchise going forward? A stud left tackle or an elite tight end? Like,
well, if it's a good tackle and a good tight end, the good tackle. If it's a good tackle and a generational Hall of Fame potential type of tight end, the tight end, I will always take the superstar over the good player. We'll find out what Olu is. If he's a good player, he's a good player. If he's a Pro Bowl, then that's a different story.
We will see what he is. We don't know yet. I will say though, for those like screaming at each other, I think Bowers can be good and Olu can be good. That's a very real possibility that happens.
Have you checked Tankathon? Where are we drafting now with 1 week left? I think we're 6. Is that right?
7 right now.
Okay, good. We better win next week because I don't want to be in that meaty part of the curve where we're talking about taking Shedeur Sanders or Cam Ward. I don't want to be in a position where that's even on the board. So we better just win tomorrow.
Well, I'll tell you what's going to be discussed. Trading up to get one of the quarterbacks, depending on where they are.
Yeah, but if we're drafting 7 or better, like if we win it with 8 or worse, 8, 9, 10, we're not going to have enough draft capital to get up to 2 or 3 or 4 to take one of the quarterbacks realistically. So we won't really have the option to trade up. Like just win. So we don't have to have that conversation. Like we're already going to have the Rodgers conversation all offseason. I don't want to have the Shedeur Sanders or Cam Ward conversation too. I don't really want to draft either one of those guys. I don't want to spend I don't want to spend draft capital to trade up to get one of those guys. Like
I don't
that's
think
all
they're
I'm
going to
saying.
trade up. I'd be surprised. It was more possible though. It's more of a possibility pending what happens with the results next week. Because there actually is a scenario where the Jets, I think, could pick as high as 2 if a couple of things go their way.
I don't
so
want
we'll
that
see.
at all. It's the opposite of the Nets. But who do you think gives the Jets a better chance to win next Sunday? Taylor or Rodgers?
Rodgers.
Then start Rodgers. I want to win next week. I don't want to lose. I don't want to tank. I don't want to be in a position where we're talking about drafting a quarterback or trading up to draft a quarterback. I want to win next week.
Yeah, I mean, Rodgers played well against the Dolphins defense a couple weeks ago, so I would just let him play the last game. If they play Tyrod Taylor, would I care? No, I just don't think the Jets are going to try and cause a firestorm and maybe Rodgers' last game as a pro and bench him. Like, you really want to do that? Like, what's the point of that?
Aaron Rodgers haters, they would love that. They would
get their
love
pound
it.
of flesh.
Yeah.
They benched Aaron. It's all his fault. If you know anything about football and you really think Aaron Rodgers is the sole reason why the Jets are a dumpster fire, you must not know much about football because guess what? The Jets sucked before Rodgers was here, and they're probably going to suck without him now anyway. So people are so silly. It's insane to me. It's Rodgers' fault that the Jet defense went from one of the best in the league to one of the worst with a snap of a finger. It's Rodgers' fault that Greg Zuerlein couldn't hit any kick all year. It's Rodgers' fault that this team committed 16 penalties. Actually, well, it's his fault for one of them because, of course, they had to throw, a roughing call on Rodgers after the pick because, of course.
It's been a disaster of a season. Like everything that could have gone wrong did, and it's over. Like we got one more week of this. Let's just end the season with a W, and the offseason will take care of itself. Like the offseason is going to be interesting with Rodgers. Like it's an interesting offseason. That's all I can say.
It always is, Gary. It always is.
Be good, Jake.
All right, Gary, hold on. Everything is slow right now. Just for you.
Did somebody say Brock Bowers?
Hold on one second. All right. God. Dre, did I shout out Dre's 5 memberships? I don't know if I did. Sorry, I got lost in it. Dre, I appreciate you, man. 5 from Dre. If you got them, thank him. Dre will get your name added to the raffle, which I plan to do tomorrow on most likely the second show because I'm not going to have enough time between this show, adding the raffle names, and then doing 4 hours of radio at 6 a.m. tomorrow. So expect the second show or or Tuesday, but it's going to be soon. 25 says Allen's right. We'll see. I don't think Mike Vrabel's going to Ohio State. I think Ryan Day saved his job with that win last week. And you can't tell me New England's a better job than the Jets. I don't see it. I also don't know that Robert Kraft is firing Gerard Mayo after 1 year. So how big of a shit show would it look like if you fire the coach after 1 year? The guy that replaced Belichick. Dre with a super chat. Garrett Wilson's only 21 TDs away from 28, and we can all agree that no one cares what Allen says or thinks. Josh B says, you're doing a great job filling in for DNR. Thank you, Josh. Appreciate that. Allen says, New England's a better job than the Jets with a stud quarterback. You have no fucking idea what Drake May is, Allen. You have no clue. How do you know he's a stud quarterback? We all thought Sam Darnold was a stud quarterback after the last 4 games of his rookie year. There's so much that goes into it. Oh, he's stud quarterback. Remember Josh Allen sucked as a rookie? CJ Stroud, oh, unbelievable. We have no idea. All right, I'm angry. I can't do this. Real quick, last call. Sing along.
B-Mac, look at my TV. B-Mac, I love Aaron Rodgers. Jets, go Jets.
Hey Jake, it pains me to see you pissed off every week. But I just want to say I do think it's time to cut bait with Rodgers. I just think it's better for both sides that everybody needs a fresh start in this. I do think he's gonna retire though. I do think he starts next week and get his 500 and call, and then retires and go, because it looks like he's not coming back to the Jets. And which team out there that's gonna want him? Like realistically, I don't see no teams out there that's gonna want him. So it looks like at this point, realistically, it's retirement. It looks like it. I could be wrong, but. Yeah, man. A tough, sad, tough game today. Seeing this team just give up. I knew once they didn't get that 4th and 1 that the game was done. It seems like it took all the energy out of the air. But I just want to say is, you and Gator make this show go and make this show great to watch. Despite the Jets having a bad year this year.
Thank you, B-Mac. I appreciate it. Hang in there. Thanks. Sorry about your Packers as well.
B-Mac. Hey, you hater guy. Allen sucks and JJ can kiss my ass before I wipe.
Shout out to the Lup man. Luppy, I got you down for another 5. The only thing we're going to be blowing up tonight are the raffle tickets with Luppy's name on it.
I can't even believe it. Thank you, John. I can't even believe it.
Oh, believe it, John Heyman, you bum. Julio writes in, Vrabel will use the Jets to get more money. Okay, great. If you think that, awesome, man. Cool. If I'm the Jets, I'm still trying to get him. Because he said this recently.
I talked to Mike Vrabel. Mike said, he said, I would take the Jets job. I just don't know who the GM would be. I'd have to like the GM.
Well, great. Find out what GM he wants. Offer him power. Offer him control. Maybe it could work. How many jobs do you think are opening up, people? Seriously. You think the Saints job is so great? Is the Bear job so great right now? Plus, it feels like an obvious Ben Johnson spot. Jaguars is such a great job. Like, all these jobs have issues. Connor Long says, how does Rodgers give us a better chance next week? Because he's better than Tyrod Taylor. That's how. I mean, I really don't even think it's up for debate. Like, I would play Aaron Rodgers. He just played against this Dolphins defense and played excellent against them a few weeks ago. Connor says, I really don't care about Rodgers getting 500. You shouldn't. It means nothing to me as a Jet fan. Anyway, that's going to do it. I'm pretty sure. Thank you to everyone who watched. My computer froze now. This night just cannot get any worse. God. End. Load. I don't even know if I'm still on right now. I could be talking to nobody. Check 1, 2. Allan sucks. 1, 2. Allan sucks. Is this on? Gotta go on for my phone because everything froze. Wonderful. What a joke. Stand by. I don't even know if I'm on. Is this thing on? Maybe not. Maybe I am on. I'm going to pretend like I am because you know what they say, kids. Hey, Connor, you're 13. You need to learn this. Always pretend the mic is on. All right? Because you never know. Sometimes it actually is. All right. Now we're on. Now I'm going to end the show. Check 1, 2. Allan sucks. 1, 2. 1, 2. Allan definitely sucks. Jersey Jet, I see your super chat. Unfortunately, I can't bring it up. Maybe I can for my phone right here. First time of the hole, my birthday. Epic. I didn't hole you, Jersey Jet. I like you. I just think that your take earlier annoyed me. I don't even remember what you said, though, to be honest. All right, I got to end the show. I've talked too much today about the Jets. They suck. They're ruining my life. But I love all of you. Thank you for supporting the show. 6 a.m. tomorrow. You'll hear me on the radio. Rex Ryan's coming on the radio show tomorrow at 7:35. So that will be interesting. I got questions for Rex that I'm sure he probably won't answer because he's trying to be the head coach of the Jets. Anyway, thank you all for watching. My name is Jake Asman. God bless you. Hey, shout out to Dark Knight Steve. That was an awesome moment earlier if you missed it when he called in. Donate to the GoFundMe. It's linked in the description if you have the means to do so. Thank you, everybody. And go Jets. Garrett Wilson not being traded. Allan, you suck.